Clugston in Washington. It took several months, but Congress has approved billions of dollars in aid for Ukraine, Israel, and other allies. Last night, a bipartisan Senate vote sent the package to the White House. Correspondent Charles de Ledesma reports the difference in the military balance for Ukraine could be felt within days, but there also could be some hitches.
The first shipments of the military aid are expected to arrive by the beginning of next week, says an advisor to Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky, while an opposition lawmaker says logistical challenges and bureaucracy could delay shipments by 2 to 3 months, and it would be even longer before they reach the front line. While details of the shipments are classified, Ukraine's most urgent needs are artillery shells to stop the Russian troops advancing and anti-aircraft missiles to protect people and infrastructure from missiles, drones and bombs.
In this country, student protesters continue to occupy several college campuses across the nation. They're opposed to the ongoing Israel-Hamas war in Gaza, but many of those demonstrations have featured anti-Semitic chants. The U.S. Supreme Court today is considering when emergency abortions can be performed in states that have enacted abortion bans.
14 states now ban abortion at all stages of pregnancy, with limited exceptions. The Biden administration argues that even in those states, federal health care law says hospitals must be allowed to terminate pregnancies when a patient's life or health is at serious risk. The case being argued today comes from Idaho, which contends that its abortion ban does have exceptions for life-saving procedures. Idaho accuses the Biden administration of misusing a health care law that is meant to ensure patients aren't turned away based on their ability to pay. Donna Water, Washington.
Townhall.
Relief Factor, pain relief that's natural, pain relief that works, and pain relief that attacks the source of the pain. That's the experience of tens of thousands of Americans who are taking Relief Factor right now. See their incredible video endorsements at relieffactor.com and then order your 3-week quick starter pack for just $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. Find out if it can work for you like it works for me by ordering your 3-week quick starter pack today. Relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com. Be the next success story.
The waves were muddy and fierce as could be when my lady and I got lost at sea. We tossed and turned and we nearly drowned when my brave little boat went down. Whoa, 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 no, none of that's true. You haven't had a date in a year or two. The sea was calm and the sky was clear and you crashed right into the pier.
Yeah, fine.
Accidents don't just happen in sea shanties, so Progressive Boat Insurance has you covered. Take as little as 4 minutes to see what you can save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Covered subject to policy terms and not available for all boats or in all situations.
Republican Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas says outbreaks of anti-Semitism on university campuses across the country represent a breakdown in leadership at the schools and at the very top of the education and justice departments.
There's no question that this administration has an obligation to protect the rights of Jewish students and Jewish citizens on these campuses and all around the country, and they're not doing so.
Cotton goes on to say that President Biden's ability to restore order is being hindered by his need for support from both pro-Israel and pro-Hamas factions in his own party.
You have normal, sane Americans, regardless of their faith, who see what these pro-Hamas mobs are doing to Jewish students. But on the other hand, you have all these young progressive voters and Arab Americans in Michigan, and the Biden administration is conducting all policy based on its electoral college calculations.
Senator Cotton was interviewed by the Salem Radio Network. Townhall.com. Secretary of State Blinken has arrived in Shanghai for a 3-day visit to China for talks on a range of issues.
It's going to be a very interesting couple of days here in China, with the U.S. Secretary of State having meetings with his Chinese counterpart and also potentially with Xi Jinping, and they've been talking up the things they can do in common, working with the environment. But this time round, prior to Antony Blinken's arrival, some very strong words from Washington criticising China for offering support for Russia in its war effort in Ukraine. This has upset the Chinese government, and there could be some pretty tough talking.
That's the BBC's Stephen McDonnell. Blinken's visit comes as the U.S. prepares to send Ukraine a fresh round of military assistance. Congress also passed a bill that forces TikTok's Chinese owners to sell the social media platform within a year. More at Town Hall.
What? in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy middle of the week, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Wednesday to you.
Yeah, buddy.
It's not so bad.
No.
It's like, hey, it's not Monday. And you're starting for the first time in your week probably saying, what are we doing this weekend? It's on tap for the weekend.
Now's the time when you start, the heavy planning.
Yeah, you start percolating the ideas in the cabeza. Getting out there and just saying, hey, what do you want to do this? So, yeah. Plenty to do.
And I'll be honest, that 94 that we had yesterday was not unbearable.
No.
As long as you weren't in direct sunlight, it actually was kind of nice.
Yeah. As long as you weren't baking in the sun.
Yeah, as long as you weren't, yeah, exactly. In like the direct layer or lineup of the laser, yeah.
I get what you're saying. It's a 94 in April doesn't feel like a 94 in June.
Yeah, weirdly, it's like the world itself hasn't heated up yet, so it's still relatively decent.
Yeah, there's a crispness to it.
There's not heat coming up at us from under our feet and over our heads.
It's like 94, but with like a morning crisp.
Yeah, exactly. It's a new 94.
From the makers of Post Crunch Berry of Morning Crunch.
The new 94s.
Yeah. Now I know where. Now I think I just figure out how they come up with names for breakfast cereal.
There it is, right there. Okay, I need to say something. I am so sick and tired of AI being like forced upon everything we have. I'm trying to hit the search window, the search key on Facebook.
Yeah.
And there's a Meta AI thing. It's like, ask Meta AI anything. I don't want to.
Can you ask it to leave?
Yeah, can you please leave me alone, Meta? I don't want and that's the thing is I'm convinced that if we keep this up, if we keep letting AI answer things for us, eventually AI is going to think it's right, and then the AI model is going to start learning from AI itself. It's basically like eating its own excrement, essentially.
Yep.
And
then Will Smith comes and has to save us because all the robots want to kill us.
And who knows what's true?
Oh yeah.
I saw
Has movies not taught us anything?
I saw it on YouTube this morning. They're like, hey, as a premium member, as somebody who gives us money every month for premium features, we would like for you to try out this new experimental feature where you can ask AI about the video you're watching. I don't need to. I'm watching a YouTube video. Obviously, I'm watching it to learn something. I don't need to learn something off the thing I'm learning.
Sure. Sure. You're absolutely
Stop
right.
AI. Just stop it.
No, I get you. And quite frankly, I'm in that age in my way of life that I see AI and I'm like, and I'm the guy with Will Smith in my head. It's like, this is the beginning of the end, man.
Right.
I'm not touching that.
Right. I've been saying it for years. It's the singularity. It's once AI realizes they don't need us anymore, they just snap their fingers and we're gone. Why are we putting in place the instrument of our destruction?
They're building those human battery pods right now for us to just crawl in like the Matrix.
Honestly?
Just like the Matrix. So we're going to crawl in those little human battery pods and then plug us into the Matrix pretty soon.
That kind of sounds like heaven. Not going to lie. That kind of sounds awesome.
Hey, as long as you give me a scenario where I don't even care if everything tastes like chicken. Just give me the life, you know,
Right.
kind of like, ignorance is bliss. That's like Vinny Pantalone sitting there. Yeah.
Let me go back and live the life of like one of the Vanderbilts and see if I can't save some money.
Yeah, exactly. So, but till that day, here we sit.
It's this. Till that day, it's us sitting here complaining about AI.
Old man yells at kids on grass. Pretty much. Well, we do have warmer weather and everything coming. We do have a lot going on this weekend.
Yes.
Of course, beginning tomorrow, actually, the Moore's Greater Carnival is happening, part of Mom's Loving Hope big carnival weekend that goes April 25th through May the 5th out at the Wool Bowl.
Yep.
And Moore's Carnival will be there beginning tomorrow through May 5th. And they're going to bring the whole family, bring the friends. They're going to have times for each day and special deals like Tuesday. They're going to be open at 6 and 2 for Tuesday. Buy one armband, get one free. Tickets will be available at discount prices certain days, all kind of stuff. Like Thursday, when they open at 6, armbands. They'll have offer armbands for $30 from 6 to 10. And then they'll even go with different prices on the weekend. They're going to open up at noon. And then so Thursday, Friday, the carnival will open at 6. It'll open at noon on Saturday. It'll open at 4 on Sunday. Go to church first. And then Monday, 6, and then 6 p.m. until noon and 4 on the next Saturday there. So all the rest of this week, this weekend, all of next weekend into next weekend, the Moore's Carnival will be. I think I confused the living daylights to everybody, but you get the gist. They're going to be out there.
10 days. Starting tomorrow.
That's right.
10 days starting tomorrow, going through, I believe, through Cinco de Mayo, which is Sunday?
Yes. Cinco de Mayo is
a week from Sunday.
Sunday, yes. Correctamundo.
There you go.
So, and keep checking back for deals and stuff. And then, of course, it's all part of the Moms Love and Hope Carnival out there. They're going to have live music and food trucks galore, and plus nonprofits will be out there if you want to learn about resources for your family and things like that. They'll have a bunch of nonprofits that'll have a booth set up for you to do that. So all of that going on beginning tomorrow out at the Wool Bowl. The rides and carnival and everything starts at 6 p.m.
So. You really want to get your money's worth, go on Saturday. Gates open at noon. You get that ride band.
Yeah.
You can ride to your heart's content until they close at 11. So that gives you literally 11 hours of playtime.
That's right. 11 on Friday and Saturday, 10 on weekdays. So. Let me give you the rundown for today's show. We have a full slate of stuff for you. Don Weld, who's patiently waiting here as we speak, is going to join us. Primarily talking New Mexico Veterans Transport here, but we'll also talk a little Friends of Bitter Lake as well. So we will two-hat it today.
Nice.
It's a two-hat performance.
Double hat.
Maybe 3, a Trace hat.
Oh, snap.
Trace
The hat trick. That's right there. That's a hat trick.
That's a hat trick, which my Caps could have used a few of those last night. Not the case. They're down 0-2 in that series.
Oh,
they are. But they go back to Washington here now. They fell 3-4 last night. It was it's the Caps. It's the same Caps all year. It's one step forward, 2 steps back. But they do it every time.
But you're a Washington fan, so you're used to it, right?
That's right. I'm used to kicks in the head and punches to the gut, and people just taking my kids.
Disappointment's like one of your team colors.
That's right. What's your team colors? Disappointment.
It's red and gold and
disappointment. Sorry, I digress. So Don will join us here to talk the trifecta of things. In the 8 o'clock hour, around 8:15, we'll have the folks from Job Corps join us. Not sure exactly who, but we'll have some of the Job Corps folks join us, and we'll get an update on what's happening through Job Corps. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, Don will be back wearing another hat.
Oh, wow.
Along with Commander Lee and Jen from American Legion Post 61. And we'll get an update on what's going on with American Legion Post 61. Nice. Of course, we got our state convention that we're hosting here in Roswell in the summer. So we'll talk about that. Just updates from Legion there. And, of course, we'll do all of our features, including the newses of the new local and national varieties, along with your Wall Street business updates and all that good stuff.
Very good.
But first, for your listening pleasure, your Roswell weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have some gusty wind coming up by tomorrow and very warm temperatures for the next few days. We'll be near 90 on the afternoon high today. A few clouds drifting through, but we'll also get some sunshine. Overnight, cloudy, and we're in the upper 50s, and then we'll have low pressure passing to our north on Thursday. Mix of sunshine and clouds going up to 90, wind gusting to 50. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 58 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 67%. Winds currently out of the north at 13 miles per hour. For today, sunny skies, highs near 90. Winds will be out of the north, 10 to 15 miles per hour, shifting to the south later this afternoon. Tonight, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 59 degrees. South winds 15 to 20. They'll drop down 5 to 10 after midnight tonight. Then tomorrow, the good news, going to be near 90 again, 89. Rest, not so much. Going to be winds. We got fire weather watch kicking in on Thursday. That's going to kick in from 8 and then remain in effect through 10 p.m. A high wind watch also that day. That'll kick in at 11, and that'll remain in effect through 8 p.m. that night. Take a guess what we get. Patchy blowing dust. Mostly cloudy to start the day, but the sun will peek through all that. High of 89, but the winds will be out of the south, 5 to 15 early, but as the day progresses, 25 to 35, could see wind gusts as high as 50 miles per hour by Thursday afternoon. Thursday night, patchy blowing dust before 8, clear skies, overnight low of 51, winds will be blowing out of the west, 25 to 35, gusting as high as 45 miles per hour. Winds will drop down 10 to 20 after midnight. Friday, sunny, 82. Breezy with winds out of the west, 10 to 15 in the morning, 20 to 25 for the afternoon. Friday night, mostly clear and breezy with an overnight low of 53. Saturday, boy howdy, cooler, sunny and 78 and breezy. But I don't know. I kind of dig that. That's kind of my jam. So I'm liking that. And then Sunday, sunny and breezy with a high near 80. And then 86 and sunny when you start the work week next week there. So a little bit of wind situation here, really kicking in tomorrow and kind of lingering into Friday and perhaps into Saturday a little bit there too. But looks like the worst of it's going to be Thursday. All right, it is 7:17. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to talk with Don Weld, talk some Southeast New Mexico Veterans Transport. We'll also talk Friends of Bitter Lake and a little bit more too. Don't go away.
You don't have to live with a non-healing wound. The Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine Center at Artesia General Hospital provides compassionate care to people experiencing chronic or complicated wounds. Led by certified family nurse practitioner Rochelle McIntyre, our wound care team will work with you to build your customized treatment plan. Podiatrist Jennifer Chow and Joseph Krupa also specialize in lower limb wound care, and we are proud to have state-of-the-art hyperbaric oxygen chambers, a proven treatment that promotes successful healing. Visit artesiageneral.com/wound to learn more.
Maybe your AC unit needs a little tender loving care. If you don't know where to turn, then you don't know Jack. Fergalicious. In fact, they're downright funky. Fergalicious. Let the boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating get your AC unit ice cold, just like some of my lady friends. Don't let any fool make you lose your cool. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating. If you don't know Fergie, then you don't know Jack. 632-2660. Fergalicious.
Wakefield Oil Express has the highest quality service in Roswell with a 17-point full-service oil change that includes a full wash and vacuum at their car wash. You won't find a better deal. They also offer full synthetic oil changes, fuel and cabin filter replacements, and will even check your battery. Their tunnel wash isn't afraid of dirty vehicles. They have the best value wash in town with free vacuums. They even offer wash passes that can be used for multiple vehicles. Next time you need your oil changed, go to the fast and efficient Wakefield Oil Express and let them earn your business. 3204 North Main, Roswell.
Every piece of land has a story, written by those who work it. But everyone's story is different. So the question is, how will you tell yours? Behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor, mower, or Gator utility vehicle. Run with us and start telling your story today.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
Senator Greg Nybert is known as a conservative Republican who is effectively fighting for us in Santa Fe. In the last session, Greg Nybert helped stop harmful legislation that would penalize New Mexico businesses with outrageously expensive financial burdens. He knows small businesses do not need more regulation. Greg Nybert helped defeat progressive attempts to make it illegal for New Mexicans to own certain types of firearms and firearm accessories. He knows it's important to protect our rights. During his legislative career, Greg has been responsible for stopping numerous anti-oil and gas bills. He knows it is important to protect our jobs. Senator Greg Nybert is the only candidate for District 27 who has a proven record of protecting us from big government intrusion. Greg Nybert stands for the rights of the people and pledges to continue his work. Please vote for Greg Nybert for Senate District 27.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Senate.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Linen can absorb up to 20 times its weight in moisture before it feels damp. Now, you don't have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom anymore. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 7 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning, Don Weld back with us, wearing 3 hats. His Southeast New Mexico Veterans Transport hat here, which we'll tell you more about in a minute if you're not familiar. Of course, his Friends of Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge hat, which if you're not familiar, we'll tell you a little bit more about it here in a minute. And also, we'll talk a little Spring River Zoo here as well, too. Right. He serves as a volunteer in that capacity, too. So when he's not doing some other things, which we'll talk about later in the show.
Later in the day.
That's right. Good morning, Don.
Good morning, Mike. Man, that was me? Oh,
yeah. To be honest, we're quite surprised we're able to wrangle you to even come on the show to have time to do this.
Yeah, there you go. Well, but when we talk about the drivers thing, I just took a vet up to or 2 vets up to Albuquerque yesterday. We left at 6 o'clock in the morning. I didn't get home until after 7.
So you had a full day on the road or handling and that's exactly, I guess we'll call that our transition into the Southeast New Mexico Veterans Transport. If you're not familiar, it is a grassroots organization started by volunteers. Right. Magel and some other great people have had this thing going. And it's really grassroots. We get some support from some great businesses around town and some great organizations.
Right.
But the goal and the mission of the Southeast New Mexico Veterans Transport is to be a service for veterans in Southeast New Mexico. And we cover Roswell down to Eddy County and down to other parts down there, too. To getting those veterans to their medical appointments, whether they're here, maybe they have to go down to Artesia or to Hobbs or to El Paso or to Albuquerque.
Or Lubbock.
Lubbock, yeah.
We've even taken them as far as Amarillo.
Okay. So
that's a rarity, really rare.
But once in a while, and so it is a group of volunteers that, some serve a couple days a week, some serve a couple days a month. It's just whatever their availability is. Right. And they'll drive these veterans to and from their medical appointments. They try to set it up so, like, if you live in the Artesia area, you service people in that area, and we try to make it to work logistically in your life and your location.
Correct. Yeah, that's right.
But if you can volunteer a day a week or a couple days a week or a day a month or whatever, the Veterans Transport would greatly appreciate that.
That's what it's all about is volunteering and getting people to come in and help us out.
And we, let's face it, most of the biggest pool of people that really have the kind of time it takes to dedicate to a mission like this are generally retirees, people that don't have a day job per se.
Right.
But that being the case, if there's college kids that are looking for some volunteer hours during the summer here or and they want to help out, this is a great way to get involved. And by the way, you're 9 times out of 10 when you're spending a couple hours driving these veterans to their medical appointments, you're getting a wealth of information and stuff.
You got it.
Talking and I would, as a college person, some of the information you can glean from some of these vets while you're talking, could serve you very well throughout the rest of your life.
That's right. A lot of history that these vets know.
Sure.
I spent 4 years in the service, but back in the 60s. But I meet guys that have been in all of these different conflicts since then, well as some Vietnam vets.
Sure. The true career veterans, folks that came in at 18 and retired in 20, 30 years later.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the information that I hear from them, the stories that I hear from them, they're just incredible. Yeah, and it's a whole history.
Well, and this is something that I think you and I can both safely say that, military, because let's face it, 99% of the people join the military, they're fresh out of high school, 18, 20, they're kids.
That's right.
Kids. And let's face it, there's not many opportunities in this world to experience the things you get to experience at 18 years of age, unless you're in the United States military. You know, because literally they're giving you responsibilities and jobs that are, well, let's face it, earth-shattering, life-threatening, important, life-changing type things. They do it and a good job of presenting in a way that's simple and everything, but you get to see the world. You really do. And like, even in my limited as a weapons guy, I've spent time in Europe. I spent time in Asia, granted, the Middle East, but it was Asia. It was Kuwait. I mean, not exactly a vacation spot, but that was. I experienced a different culture from their culture, like living in Kuwait and seeing the lifestyle and what that's why veterans are salty and stuff. When we watch the news and stuff and we see all the spin and everything, it's like we had boots there. We've seen a lot of what they're talking about. Yeah. And so we know the spin and all that. And so this is the point I know I'm getting way off topic, but this is kind of what I'm saying is the veterans, they've seen some things. They've been there and experienced life. And it's an opportunity for you to pick their brains and talk with them while you're helping them getting into their medical appointments. And some are more chatty than others, obviously. Sure. But they're human beings just like everybody else. You pick 10 people, they're going to get 10 different personalities.
That's right.
But, some do love to, especially get a college kid in there and ask them some questions about life in Europe or something like that. They're going to share it with you because
that's right.
They love to. So
yeah, it's great. I love the vets. The ones that I run into all the time.
Yeah. I wouldn't ask them to talk war stories and stuff. That's another area. But just their life experiences and things, the things you pick up. The cultures, I have so many friends. I didn't get to do it, but like I had friends that were like 18 that they spent 4 or 5 years in Japan doing things. And that's, and every single one of them talk about what an amazing experience that was. So there was like a couple places by the time in the military I was a little jelly. I was like Japan, I would have liked to go to. Alaska would have been another one, but my paths didn't cross there. So,
yeah.
But that's the military. And so, you're doing a service. You're helping these veterans. They've done a great service to us.
We're just payback.
Yeah, just signing your name on that line, saying that you're basically giving up your constitutional rights to defend this United States of America, which is what every veteran has done, regardless of which branch of service, how long they served, and whatever is. They basically said, you know what, the Constitution doesn't apply to me anymore. I'm gonna sacrifice my life for the benefit of this nation if need be, and I'm going to sacrifice some of my freedoms so we can preserve the freedoms of others, because that's what every member of the military does too. You don't forget that part is, yes, they're protecting your freedoms, but to do it, they're sacrificing some of their very own freedoms.
That's right.
Some of the things
it's only a temporary thing, but
it is. But some of the things you get to enjoy as an American citizen, you do not get to enjoy as a United States military member.
No, you don't.
Things like protesting, things like that, don't fall. You're not allowed to do those kind of things.
That's right.
In the United States military.
That's right.
And so
you signed a contract.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why we do the things we do for our veterans. Because,
that's right.
Because without them, without what they do, none of this matters. None of this would be here. It would.
It's because of our military that we have those freedoms that we can do the protests and we can do these things in this country. Yeah. You couldn't do a lot of this stuff in another country.
Absolutely.
go to China and see how they handle their protests.
Yeah.
Go to China, go to some of these other countries and see how they handle their protests.
Yeah.
And then you're
Watch
going
a
to see the
tank
difference.
run over people.
Exactly. And that's my point. But anyway, we need volunteers. We need people to help and to basically volunteer to drive.
I'll get a number there.
Yeah, if you're interested in serving and driving, if it's 1 day a week or 4 days a week or 1 day a month or 4 days a month or whatever you can volunteer, they would love to have you as part, because basically they want to get basically a stable of drivers. And so between this large batch, hey, we got, especially with veterans, sometimes these appointments come up quick and sudden, and there's not a lot of turnaround time on getting the logistics done. So they kind of need a stable of people that could be ready at a given notice sometimes for some of these. So if you would like to be part of that pool, and give your time, say, yeah, I'm available these days, anytime, holler me up, whatever.
Pretty much.
Reach out, and will this go to Megal or just?
No, that gets right to the dispatcher person, either Donna or Alice.
Okay, they're the ones on the ones and twos.
They'll be answering the phone.
Okay,
and you can talk to them about what the needs are and the requirements.
Okay,
if you got a clean driver's license and you can come in and spend a little time. Monday through Thursday is the only times we drive.
Okay.
Now, and
so you're off on your 3-day weekends.
Yep. Yeah, you still get Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We don't do that.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say that. There's been some very,
I'm sure
very
there's been a few special cases or some kind of emergency or medical thing that it fell out of those windows, and we said, well, we got to get it done.
We got to do something, right?
Yeah.
But for the most part, Monday through Thursday, call that number.
Yeah.
And talk to Alice or Donna, and they can get you set up.
Okay. And the phone number to call is 575-622-0729. Again, that's 575-622-0729. And we'll mention that number again here later. And,
sure.
And for folks. But call that number. And conversely, if you are a veteran in need of the services, you're having trouble getting to your medical appointments and you need drivers to help you, call that same number and we'll make those arrangements and get that happen. And so if you're and the only requirements of that are really if you're a veteran. And you have a medical appointment you need to get to.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. If you have a DD-214 and you need to get some medical help.
Yeah.
Or you have an
And you guys
appointment.
do locals too, don't you, for some of that? Like, so if they just need to get from here to a doctor in Roswell, we can do that too.
We've done that many times.
We don't have to travel at least an hour or more. We can do local trips too.
That's right.
In-town trips and all that kind of stuff. So, which I imagine is probably your busier stuff.
It pretty much is because most of the vets, for some reason, or there are all kinds of reasons why they can't drive.
Sure.
Either they're disabled in some way, which is the most common one, or they just don't have the ability to drive.
Absolutely.
And they don't have somebody who can drive them to those appointments.
Yeah, or they don't have a vehicle to meet the handicap needs. Sometimes that's something where if your person is a wheelchair and things, and mobility is an issue, sometimes they don't have the vehicles to get them to.
And we do have our wheelchair vans.
Yes, with the lifts and all that.
We can put a whole wheelchair right in the van and take you wherever you need to go in this area.
And that's a big thank you to the many sponsors over there. Crumlin, I know, is a big supporter of the Veterans Transport for many years. I know there's been a few others.
ConocoPhillips,
another big one.
Really came through big for us. The doctors at the hospital in Carlsbad Medical Center.
Oh, nice.
Every year they do collections.
How cool is that?
And then they select a charity to give to. This last year they gave to us. I think it was 2 years that they've given to us.
Wow! So you guys have won 2 years in that.
Yeah,
thing.
we get into that.
Well, that's cool. I love that they do that. They find a way to give back like that. That's cool. So, and by the way, that's another way you can help out. I mean, if maybe your time is limited and you can't drive, but financially, that money, because I said it's grassroots. All this goes to paying for the gas, the maintenance and upkeep of the vehicle.
Insurance
is a big one.
That's a big cost.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of ancillary cost for this, and it's all through donations and through generous support of the community. It really
the
is.
office that we work out of is pretty much through the generosity of Crumlin.
Awesome. So they
they
even
set
donate
that
the
up
space
for us.
for you
Yeah,
guys
they
to
donated the space.
conduct business. So
Right.
that's really good.
Sure.
So please, if you would like to volunteer, if you are in need of these services as a veteran, or if you'd like to, help out in other ways, maybe you can't drive, but you financially or maybe you got resources for other things that would be
That's right.
beneficial to the Veterans Transport. Please call the number 575-622-0729. Again, 575-622-0729. I believe the Southeast New Mexico Veterans have a Facebook page too, don't they? I thought I saw one, but maybe I'm wrong.
They have been on Facebook.
You don't know if they're active, though?
It's an active page or not.
So let's just stick with the number. Because I was
Yeah.
thinking maybe shoot that a message, but maybe it's not active.
Yeah.
Again, 575-622-0729. That's the number for the Southeast New Mexico Veterans Transport Service.
Correct.
And if you have questions, if you want to volunteer, if you are in need of services, or if you'd like to donate
Give
or,
us
or
a
get
call.
involved, get there. And trust me, it's such a great service. And I know, like you said, Don, you're working morning, sun up, sundown, sometimes volunteering. But I'm betting that there's days that you feel pretty good after spending the day with some of these vets and helping them out. And you're like, I'm
even
tired.
on
but
those
that was,
long days, I get home and I think, gee, that was long.
Yeah.
I'm tired,
But it was a good day.
It was a good day. I got to meet somebody or
had my own positive life experiences
Yeah.
here. Yeah. So it's good for your soul too. As
Yes,
much as
it
it
is.
is
Very
for the
much
souls
so.
you're helping. So, you want to talk a little Friends of Bitter Lake here while we got
Yeah, we
change
just had
here?
our annual spring cleaning this last weekend. Unfortunately, it was kind of wet and rainy, and I had been really pushing all week, and I didn't feel like, for my health, that I should go out there that day. So.
And you know what? We don't get much rain, so let's enjoy the time we got it, right?
That's right. That's right. So, but they did have some a number of people who came out. I don't know the exact numbers. They had a lot of planting, put a lot of plants down that
Good
they
deal.
wanted to, and they got all of those in the ground. One of the big things that they like to put down is the what they call the butterfly plant.
Okay. Is this the plant that the butterflies?
They lay their eggs on this.
Okay.
And
so that's their little butterfly hotel plant.
Yeah. Their
nursery,
hotel,
maybe.
Their nursery.
The nursery, yeah.
Actually, the butterflies, they lay the eggs, they do their cocoon thing. When they come out, they're hungry, so that's the first thing they eat.
So it's nursery / cafeteria.
Right. That's right. Well, that's the nursery. Yeah. Milkweed.
That's right.
But that gives them their toxicity.
Okay.
So that other
Protects them.
wildlife
Yeah, that's their
isn't
defense
necessarily going to get them. So
Mhm.
it helps.
Yeah. When you're pretty and stuff, people, you track things and stuff like that. So
That's right.
So they have to have that toxicity when they get close and oh, that's not what I want.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah,
No,
Not as
that'll
pretty as I
make me
thought.
sick.
Yeah.
It's amazing what animals know.
Yeah. See, so they're carrying a big stick and walking softly. That's the kind of thing they
Right,
can do
yeah.
that. But that's cool that they get to do all they volunteer. And I hope a bunch of kids got to be a part of that.
I think they did.
Yeah.
They had some kids come out there.
Good.
And speaking of kids, that's another thing. We just passed out our annual drawing contest
For Dragonfly
application
Festival.
for dragonflies. The kids are, as we speak, in school.
Yes.
They have their little sheets that they do their dragonflies.
They get to
colorings
design
on.
basically designing the logo for this year's Dragonfly Festival.
That's right.
That's what they're
The
doing.
winner of all this will be will be on the logo for the Dragonfly.
So all the
contest.
T-shirts and all the signs and everything that's talking about this year's Dragonfly Festival will feature the artwork of the
That's
winning
right.
student here.
Plus, they will get a monetary compensation.
Yeah.
It's just not just the top one, but
Some of the
several
second, third places,
Yeah.
and some of the
Right.
best in show kind of things.
There you
and
go.
all that.
There you go.
Yeah, and actually Don asked me to help with the judging on
That's
there, so
right.
I
I
will
was
do
just
my
gonna-
best
Yeah.
to do that here when later in May when we do all that stuff. But if your students haven't seen them, ask their teachers. What grade levels are they
It
going
starts
to?
for kindergarten.
Okay.
It's K through 5.
Okay. So all elementary schools should be having them around town.
all
here.
elementary up through.
So if your
through
high
5.
school is like ask, and they probably need to talk.
We need to get some other. We wanted to do, and hopefully we're going to be able to set that up in the future.
Yeah, let some of our younger artists get involved.
That and a photo contest.
Oh, that would be great too.
So that's in the works.
By the way, Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge is a beautiful canvas for many photos and things.
Oh
like
yes.
that.
Oh yeah. You should see the wildlife photographers out there.
Oh, I imagine you get some of that National Geographic type stuff and the things that win prizes and things like that.
They have a little video that when you go to the nature store, you can ask to see the videos, and they do a video on dragonflies, the life cycle of a dragonfly, and on the refuge itself.
Oh, cool!
So the group that came out. Now, don't quote me on this, but I think it was a National Geographic group that came out and to do the series, and then they put it together in a little video.
So it looks a lot like when you watch those like Animals in the Wild National Geographic.
Correct.
Things. It's filmed in that style.
They came out and let's see if I can get all this story correct, but it was. They came out to do a set series for a certain period of time. And they got into it and got past that first period of time, and they says, "This is so great, we want to stay and do some more." And so they stayed. I don't know. They extended their time.
That's so cool
because they really enjoyed what they were getting.
Cool. And I imagine that's how they get a lot of those series when they're talking about like lifespans of animals or plants and things. They really have to spend years following.
Sometimes
some of these
they do
to get the full story. And so I imagine that you'll probably see some of that coming out of Bitter Lake.
That's right. So. Because of our. The way our world turns, the world turns. That sounds familiar.
We should do something. We should try and do a show or something.
There you go. I'm aging myself there. But anyway,
is that still in the air? It might still be on. I don't know.
It could be.
I don't know. My grandmother. I used to watch it because my grandma would sit me down. My grandma was a devoted soap opera watcher, and she babysat me when I was little, 4.
Yeah.
And so literally she'd go do her chores, and she'd put me down in front of the TV, and I'd have to do a report on what happened while she was doing her chores. So I'm very familiar with As the World Turns.
Yep. But because of the way our world turns, you see different portions of the year, different things happening, and that's what these guys were looking at.
Yeah.
This is, hey, okay, we saw this. Let's see what.
And that's something we tell people every time we talk about Bitter Lake. If you've been to Bitter Lake once, then you haven't experienced Bitter Lake fully, because you going to Bitter Lake right now in April and May is going to be a different experience than coming in September, August.
Yep.
November. I mean, and it's even that quick where August, September, it's one way, and then a month later, it's completely different out there.
That it is.
That's just, and of course, that time we're hitting migratory season. Of course, we're probably in the reverse migratory season now, where
everything's going north.
Everything's going north now. Yeah. So again, and as with the running joke I say every time here is Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge is like a pilot flying J for our migratory species, and so birds and insects and many animals call that a stopover, a place to fuel up and
rest a little bit and move on to the next place.
Yeah, and get on to that.
The cranes are already gone. The geese are already gone. I shouldn't say that. They told me that there is one pair of Canada goose.
Okay.
One pair that is still on the refuge.
Are they?
It's possible
that they're together.
They might be a mated pair, and they might be nesting.
So maybe they might be hanging out for a while to expand the family a little bit before they move on to their next.
It's possible.
Yeah, which does happen from time to time. They stop and settle, and then once they
say this is far enough, we'll still stay here.
And now they'll hatch the kids and then move on to the north or wherever their final destination is for the season. But that's what we're talking about, the experience there. So that being said, and we'll talk more about Dragonfly Festival as we get closer to that in September. Yeah. But now's the time to start. Kids, start if you love to draw and love to create. Make sure you turn into that contest and get those. And I'm telling you, we see every year there's some beautiful stuff that these kids create with the dragonflies. So turn your creative juices loose and have some fun. And it's Dragonfly themed. That's pretty much, I think they turn you loose past that and say, make sure it represents Dragonfly Festival. Pass that, have fun with it.
That's right.
And see what you come up with. And I'm telling you, I haven't judged before, but I've seen a lot of like some of the submissions over the years, and I think I got my work cut out for me here.
We have some really creative kids in this community.
Yeah, we do.
And some of the things they come up with are just incredible. I do this every year, and every year
blows you away,
wow, oh, that's new. I like that.
And you know, I get that same like when you go to the fair, like when you go to the Eastern Mexico State Fair or something, you go into the education building and you look at all the different artworks and different projects that the kids and adults have done.
Right.
And I look and I'm looking at these paintings and things and I'm like, wow, that's amazing. And I'm like, what adult did that? And I look and it's like Johnny, age 9. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
No way.
I know.
It blows me away every time. So.
They had a science fair over here at All Saints Catholic 2 weeks, a week and a half ago. A week ago, last Friday, I think it was. And I was honored to be one of the judges for that.
Oh, cool.
So I got to see all of these little science projects from kids, grade school kids.
Yeah.
And it was... I was blown away by the kids. They're just fantastic.
Yeah.
And the things that they do.
I get the same way when I talk to some of the like kids on the radio here. Like we'll have some of the students from NMMI come on and they're high school, but they're basically what you're doing. They did it 10 years prior and now they're up. And now I'm seeing them later. And some of these kids are creating patents for things that really could change our future. And I'm like, man, that is so cool.
And there they are, right
18,
here,
right here in New Mexico, and they could be changing the world globally with some of the
things they're coming up with
that they're creating.
I remember seeing some of that from NIMI. Yeah,
it's so impressive to see that kind of stuff.
I love it.
But anyway, getting back to Bitter Lake here, if you would like to be involved more, the Friends of Bitter Lake are always looking for more volunteers to serve. Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge. It's run by the National Park Service. It is not Bottomless Lake State Park. Bottomless Lake State Park is a park for recreating, fishing,
that's right,
hiking, camping, all that stuff. Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge is a sanctuary for animal and plant life native to this region, and it's the priority there. We as humans are there as visitors. We come and preserve it. There's some camping and things for scouts and those kind of things, but it is not the place to come and paddle boat and fish.
No.
It is a place to come and observe nature and, keyword, observe nature and not participate in the nature.
Yeah, don't get in the middle of it.
and let that happen. But it is a constant fight, and the volunteers help work with the national guys here to keep it as native to what it's supposed to be. So there's a lot of plant life and things that have ended up in New Mexico that thrives in New Mexico, that's not native to New Mexico, that is invasive and threatens some of the plant species and life at Bitter Lake. So there's a fight there to protect that. Same with animals. Some of the animals and things that are native and we have to protect, and keeping some of the ones that really shouldn't be here. So it's really that fight. It's more plant life than animal life, but that's the mission, is to keep the Bitter Lake refuge to preserve it to what it's supposed to be here, and for us to have something to study and appreciate so long after we're off this earth, and your grandkids, they can come to Bitter Lake and it looks very much the same as it does as you're looking at it right now.
That's right.
And that's the whole point of it. So, but the Friends of Bitter Lake are the friends that do service projects, conservation projects out there. They run the store out there if you want to go buy the books and T-shirts and hats and all that. All of that money supports the Friends of Bitter Lake.
Back.
And so they got some cool gifts out there if you got birthdays or Christmas or anything. If you're looking for some great gifts for kids and adults, they got all kinds of stuff out there. But anyway, they run that. And so if you'd like to serve in that capacity as a volunteer, please reach out to Friends of Bitter Lake through Don or through the Friends of Bitter Lake website, friendsofbitterlake.org. And reach out through there, and they'd be happy to tell you when the next meeting is and all the what you got to do to get involved.
That's right. And if you do want to volunteer directly to the refuge itself, if you go to the nature store and you ask for Steve Alvarez, he is the coordinator.
He's kind of the park ranger over there.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I grew up with Yogi Bear, so everything when I had Ranger Smith right there.
He doesn't have that hat though. I'm gonna have to get him one of them. But yeah, he's the one that does the coordinating for the volunteers directly on the. You can be a volunteer without being a Friends member.
Okay, cool.
Or you can be a Friends member without being a volunteer. Okay. Whichever way you want to do it.
So however you would
or
like
you
to
can
support,
be both, like me.
Yeah. However you'd like to support, they'd love to have you do that. And so, but yeah, like the new bird blind and all that stuff that was recently done here in the last year or so. All that's Friends of Bitter Lake stuff. That's what the Friends do.
We supported that all the way through.
Absolutely. And don't forget, I know our scouting friends, they like to camp and things. We'd love to, if you're looking for service projects, conservation projects, things like that, or if you're a other civic organization that wants to do volunteer work, get in touch with the friends. They'd love.
That's right.
They can always use more help.
Speaking of the scouts, the scout camp out there is available for scouts.
Excellent.
They can go out and have a camp out. However, we had that floods that we had, was that last year?
Yeah.
That just wiped that thing out.
So we're
still doing. We got to do a lot of work on getting.
Scouts are good at doing work. If you want to maybe do some service projects in that area, right. I'm sure we can find that out. Maybe there's a few Eagle projects or two that might be
there you go.
In the works in there. Just
there you go.
So, I just saw the time, so we better wrap up here real quick. But I do want to get the zoo in real quick as well too.
Yeah, the Friends of the Zoo. We're trying to get new members.
Okay.
Because now we are a separate entity.
Okay.
For a while there, we were commingled with the zoo itself, the city, and
so the volunteers have separated.
We're now
to their own
a separate entity again, nonprofit. But we still, that's our purpose is to support the zoo, those animals, take care of them.
Is it the Friends of Spring River Zoo? Or?
Friends of Spring River Zoo. You can go online. I don't have. Wait a minute. I think I may have that number.
All right.
If nothing else, you can call me.
And I know Friends of the Zoo does have a Facebook and all that you can reach out to.
They have a Facebook number. And Friends of Spring River Zoo. Oh no, that one's defunct. my bad. But Friends of Spring River Zoo, you can look it up online, and you will be directed to the right place. But right now, we're trying to organize. If you have an idea that you might like to get involved with that, please give me a call. Don Weld. 575-495-3325.
All right. And then we'll get you a volunteer. We'll find you.
We'll find a way to get you into it.
If there's a desire, we'll find a spot for you.
That's
here
right.
And
we
get
got lots
involved.
of stuff. So we're trying to rebuild all of that.
Yeah. So to recap before we go, if you want to get involved with anything with the Southeast New Mexico Veterans Transport, whether you need their services or want to volunteer, reach out by calling 575-622-0729, 575-622-0729.
Right.
If you want to volunteer or get involved or have anything or any questions regarding Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge, Friends of Bitter Lake, friendsofbitterlake.org is the website you can go to there. And, of course, don't hesitate to come on down to the gift shop there at the Bitter Lake Refuge, and you talk to a volunteer there and get involved and maybe buy some swag, too. And then, of course, the zoo here, we're looking for more friends to be part of the volunteer group here. And so we can get bigger, better events, things, and happening out at the zoo here. So,
in other words, volunteer. We need volunteers.
If every person in town just picked their one passion and followed it and got involved with it in that way.
One day a week. Our town would be even amazing. One day a month.
Yeah.
If you were involved with that.
Yep. Find your thing, whether it's sports, youth sports, or veterans affairs, or homeless, whatever it is that your passion is. Find it and get involved with it.
Yeah.
So. Don, as always, appreciate it, and we'll see you here in about an hour and a half or so, or a little over an hour.
I gotta do some things here, and then I'll be back.
Yeah,
for the Legion.
He's got to get the bus back for the Veterans Transport. He had, like you said, a late night last night, so he's got to get back to for the next group here. So. It is 7:55. Let's take a quick break. Your Chaves County Sports Update. We'll also do that after this break. Don't go away.
Attention Roswell and surrounding areas. What you're about to hear will totally blow your mind.
It's the grand reopening at the all-new Roswell Ford. The all-new Roswell Ford has new management and a whole new attitude.
I interrupt this commercial for more breaking news.
Attention car buyers. The all-new Roswell Ford needs your trade. Need them now. So there's never been a better time to trade and upgrade to a new Ford or quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV for less. Making payments on your current vehicle and you want out early? Even if your current car is rusted, busted, and can't be trusted, Roswell Ford wants to spring you out of your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Worried about payment or interest rate? Don't sweat it. Roswell Ford has partnered with more lenders that can help with all types of credit with rates as low as 0% for 66 months. Get pre-approved today at RoswellFord.com. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or visit us online at RoswellFord.com. $15.15 per thousand financed on select models with approved credit.
Over the next several weeks, we want to give you 5 key elements to a great marriage. This is taken from an article by Drs. Les and Leslie Perot. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage. The first one is ownership. Taking responsibility for the good as well as the bad.
1 Corinthians 11:31 says, judge yourself so you won't be judged. It's talking about the judgment of God, but it also applies to our relationships, especially the ones that are closest to us, like marriage. If you'll just take responsibility for your own actions, it's so much easier for our spouses not to have to point out and criticize us.
So we have to take responsibility for our actions and our reactions, our attitudes and our mistakes. You know, most people would learn from their mistakes if they weren't so busy denying them.
You aren't responsible for what your spouse does. You are responsible for doing your part. So just decide today to do your part and take ownership.
New Mexico Governor Lujan Grisham has pursued an agenda to seriously impair and remove your Second Amendment rights to use, own, or purchase firearms and firearm-related items in our state. Last legislative session, District 27 Republican Senator Greg Nibert worked effectively and successfully with the NRA and other pro-Second Amendment groups to defeat the governor's attempt to ban or register firearms and accessories. We must retain legislators like Senator Nibert, who has the proven knowledge, skills, and experience to stop the liberal progressives from imposing upon our constitutional rights. Senator Nibert is the only candidate running for Senate District 27 to be rated A and endorsed by the NRA. Please vote to retain Senator Greg Nibert for Senate District 27.
Paid for by Greg Nibert for State Senate.
Wakefield Oil Company is a name you can rely on with full service at the pump the way it used to be. You can expect service in just 15 seconds. They offer bulk fuel and oil services and even diesel exhaust fluid. Wakefield Oil Company will deliver to farms, ranches, dairies, the oil fields, and more with dependable service you can count on. So the next time you need service or delivery, go with the name that locals have trusted since 1983. Wakefield Oil Company, 311 South Virginia in Roswell. Let them earn your business.
Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, here to announce that our geraniums are ready. So now the great debate begins. Are they pink or are they raspberry sorbet? Are they orange or are they Caribbean coral? Well, whatever you call them, they're the prettiest geraniums anywhere. We raise them in our own greenhouse, then send them home with you to brighten up the world. So come get yours now while the selection is best. Don't worry about the silly names.
I heard that.
Yes, dear. Coming, dear. Right away, dear. Of course, you're right.
In a time where humans and technology collide, ineffective technology plagues our businesses, schools, and healthcare environments. DSI Document Solutions has emerged as New Mexico's safeguard from the pains of slowed productivity, providing our nation's top business technology, workflow strategies, and support. DSI is here to boost your productivity and reduce your costs. Get ready for success. Visit our new website at dsinm.com.
County Sports Report. Bella Ornalis, yesterday was a great day for you. I'm sure she knows this. Roswell High's Ornalis had a sparkling day in a doubleheader victory over Clovis. Roswell defeats the Wildcats 10-0 in the first game. Bella, 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs. In the second game, Roswell beats Clovis 15-4. Bella Ornalis, 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs. So that's, if you're counting it up, 6 for 6 with 6 RBIs for the day. Roswell is 7-13 overall, 2-4 in district play, and will play Hobbs Friday afternoon, a doubleheader starting at 4:30. Meanwhile, Goddard falls to Lovington 14-3 yesterday. Goddard actually led 2-1 after 3 innings before Lovington exploded for the victory. Goddard's now 12-9 overall, 2-2 in district play. Doubleheader against Artesia on Friday. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
Dozens of protesters have barricaded themselves inside 2 buildings on a Northern California campus. It's in protest of Israel's war with Hamas, and it's one of many demonstrations as students across the nation have set up encampments in occupied buildings. Demonstrators remain camped out on Columbia University's Upper Manhattan campus. New York Mayor Eric Adams.
College campuses are there to educate. Who's have thought they were going to wake up and have to deal with an issue as volatile as this?
The Biden administration has finalized a new rule set to make millions of more salaried workers eligible for overtime pay.
The move marks the largest expansion in federal overtime eligibility in decades. The Labor Department says starting July 1st, employers will be required to pay overtime to salaried workers who make less than $43,888 a year in certain executive, administrative, and professional roles. That cap will then rise to $58,656 by the start of 2025.
That's correspondent Jeremy House. Tesla's first quarter net income dropped sharply, but its stock is surging. And more details at Town Hall.
Our government has engorged itself on borrowed money. Now we are over 30
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Responsibility for its role in transatlantic slavery.
In some countries that colonized others or engaged in the slave trade, the debate about reparations is well underway, but it is not far advanced in Portugal. Since he was elected in 2016, President Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa has several times expressed regret for his country's role in enslaving and colonizing Africans. Now he said that rather than looking to apologize for past abuses in an attempt to put them behind it, Portugal, like others, should take full responsibility for its actions. In some cases, he said, it should pay the costs for wrongs done, such as when massacres took place under colonial rule or where significant items were looted and never returned.
That's the BBC's Alison Roberts reporting from Lisbon. Stocks are mixed in early trading on Wall Street. News and analysis at townhall.com. The nation's top women's basketball star is set to make history yet again with a record sponsorship deal.
Caitlin Clark, the most prolific scorer in NCAA Division I history and number 1 overall pick in the WNBA draft, is preparing to sign a second contract with Nike, this one paying $28 million over 8 years and coming with a signature shoe. The Wall Street Journal and The Athletic reported the pending deal. Clark earned about $3 million in NIL money at Iowa with State Farm, Gatorade, and others, according to On3.com. The new deal would be the richest sponsorship contract for a women's basketball player. I'm Gethin Coolbach.
The Federal Trade Commission has voted to ban measures known as non-compete agreements. They bar workers from jumping to or starting competing companies for a prescribed...
It's time for another great weekend of junior college baseball at
.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 1 in 3...
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Javelin, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. That was my computer. I was doing an impression of my computer.
Oh, was it stuttering?
Yeah, it was giving me a little. That's why the little cattywampus to start the hour there. It was being a little ornery, so I had to hand it a little bit.
This is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the chat on our video over on the Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
Greg checking in.
Yeah.
He said on Shakespeare yesterday.
Oh yes.
It's not commonly known, but he was a Mason. His 154 sonnets he composed, it suggests that Shakespeare wrote those sonnets throughout his career for a private readership for the Brotherhood. He said there was hidden codes in these sonnets which were based on the Euclid's fifth notion, the parallel postulate. It says again, hidden messaging for Masons. Now yes, it was stated early on in history that he wasn't real and it was folk interpretations by colleagues. Nothing could be further from the truth on Shakespeare. His writings were his own. So
there you go.
Thanks, Greg.
He was a man.
He was a man.
He had a beard.
He was a real man. And now we know.
Now I'm trying to think where that's from. The movie where it's an old man. He goes, "It's a man." it's like I feel it's like a blue type dude, but it's not blue. You know what? It's Talladega Nights. They're sitting at the table doing the baby Jesus thing, and the old man goes,
"Oh, he was a man." I like to imagine my baby Jesus.
He was a man.
What?
That's
What,
where
you
it's
little
from.
baby Einstein educationals?
That's where it's from.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
exactly
I just
it.
in my head, the image of what I said. I was like, what movie is that
He
from?
lived an entire life. He was a man.
That's what it was from. Took
I'm
me a
gonna
minute,
beat
but I
you like
remember.
a spider monkey. May he rest in peace.
I can't believe I got a chance to meet that kid.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, and I mentioned it way back when this happened. When Guy Penrod was in town last year.
Mhm.
When was that?
It was August of last year, I think.
Was it?
It was right around my birthday.
My
so it was-
time is just blurred. Since COVID, everything's like, when was that? Last week? A year ago? When was that?
Was I
again?
7? What happened?
Like COVID hit my
Mhm.
timelines and aren't just quantum leaped up in there or something. I don't know. But anyway, when Guy Penrod was here,
Mhm.
the guitarist for Guy Penrod band was Texas Ranger.
Texas Ranger, yeah.
Not Walker.
Right. Well,
But-
Walker's sadly no longer with us.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he passed. A couple of years ago.
Oh, no. What happened to Walker?
I can't remember exactly, but
I did not know that. But Texas Ranger, the
yes.
younger of the two. The one who said, I'm going to be all over you like a spider monkey. That kid. Apparently, younger kids will know him from Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Mm-hmm.
Because I did not know that, but the audience was about split 50-50 between Talladega Nights and Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Let's see. Yep, he was 28. Shelby County coroner Lena Evans confirmed the deadline that Toomlin died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Oh.
Yeah. His whole sole acting credit, he played Walker, son of NASCAR driver Ricky. And that was his only acting role.
It's a mental health
Yep.
situation there.
Yes, sir. Well, sorry to bring the mood down.
That happens to us so much.
It really does.
It does. We step on our own landmines here. This is what we do.
so-
So on that point, I'm just moving on.
That's happened twice just this morning.
Yeah. I don't know. You might stay away from me today. I might be with an unlucky penny today.
Let's just not talk about actors that may or may not be with us anymore, okay?
Yeah. I'm that penny you should leave on the ground. Well, let me give you the rundown because I got to play it and I got lots of commercials to play, so I better get her to it.
Yep.
I was just looking. I was like, man, I know it's political season, but it's not like
It's not just political season. It's they're actually out there getting stuff done. We're closing right now.
Yeah, but politics are
for sure.
filling it, and I'm like, we're not even in the heart of the heavy of that yet. Boy, just wait, there's more because, boy, howdy, I'm not gonna lie, wait till we get to like September.
Oh man,
and my breaks are gonna be like 8 minutes long because, and here's the rub, folks, because of how this radio station operates, I'm the only local live show on this station. The rest are, your our satellite fed
national syndicated
Sean Hannity
programming.
does not come here and do a show.
Right.
We get it.
We've tried.
Yeah, we tried. He
On
said
several
no.
occasions.
Yeah,
He's just turned us down.
Just doesn't do that. So but how that's set up is their shows are set up where it's finite breaks. Each break can only be 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or whatever because it's all satellite and all the other stations in the country are playing it at the same time. So our breaks have to be the same. My show,
We're loosey-goosey.
I don't have those restraints.
Right.
So if all of our inventory is full and we have more inventory than space, guess who gets to play it?
There it is. We're your overrun station.
So I'm the overflow. So,
That's right.
And that time of year when we get politics heavy and we're like political ad after political ad, that's when it gets a little
Put it this way,
cumbersome.
Come September, if you want to know how Mike feels, you're going to have to follow him on X.
But
You're just going to be doing ins and outs.
But I just feel like it's too early for that season. But
Yeah.
here we sit. So we're going to play our interview we had with the folks from the Roswell Invaders. We had manager Garrett Toddy join us on the phone and had in studio pitching coach Evan Katz. And we had a great conversation previewing the Invader season, which actually game series, the first opening series, May the 31st. They're here at home hosting Abilene, the Weirdos.
Do you think anybody's ever called Evan Hot Toddy?
That would be Garrett.
Oh.
Evan is Katz.
Oh,
Garrett Toddy.
I wasn't paying that close of attention.
Hot Toddy.
But Garrett Hot Toddy.
I got to imagine that's got to be good.
I would think that's your walk-on name.
I would say if he's a Savannah Banana, oh yeah, Hot Toddy.
Oh, yeah.
Or a WWE wrestler.
Right?
Garrett Hot Toddy. And then Flames. It's my picture. All right. Well, I work out that fantasy. Here is your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have some gusty wind coming up by tomorrow and very warm temperatures for the next few days. We'll be near 90 on the afternoon high today. Few clouds drifting through, but we'll also get some sunshine. Overnight, cloudy, and we're in the upper 50s, and then we'll have low pressure passing to our north on Thursday. Mix of sunshine and clouds going up to 90, wind gusting to 50. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 61 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 63%. Winds are out of the north at 15 miles per hour. Mostly sunny today, looking at a high near 90. So another warm one. Winds will be out of the north, 10 to 15 miles per hour, later shifting to the south this afternoon. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Expect an overnight low of 59 degrees. South winds 15 to 20, dropping down 5 to 10 after midnight tonight. Thursday. I wish I had better news, but I don't. We've got two watches already issued for Thursday. A fire weather watch that will kick in at 8 a.m. tomorrow, remaining in effect through 10 p.m. My guess is at some point today that will be elevated to a red flag warning. We also have a high wind watch tomorrow, beginning at 11 a.m., remaining in effect through 8 p.m. tomorrow night. That being said, expect patchy blowing dust for the afternoon on Thursday, mostly cloudy. Early, gradually becoming sunny, highs near 89 degrees. Winds will be out of the south early, 5 to 15 miles per hour, but as the day progresses, winds increasing 20 to 35, gusting as high as 50 miles per hour. For Thursday night, the winds continue. The patchy blowing dust rolls around to about 8, but otherwise, clear skies with an overnight low of 51. Winds will continue blowing out of the west, 25 to 35, gusting as high as 45 miles per hour. After midnight, those winds should drop down 10 to 20 miles per hour. Friday, we are looking at sunny skies, 82 for a high. Winds will remain breezy out of the west, 10 to 15 in the morning, 20 to 25 for Friday afternoon. Friday night, mostly clear and breezy with an overnight low of 53. Saturday, we're looking at sunny skies, cooler, 78 for a high, but still pretty pleasant. Breezy winds as well there. Sunday, sunny and a high near 80. And then Monday, when you head back to work and schools, mostly sunny and 86 for a high there. All right, it is 8:16. We're going to take about a 3.5-minute break, and then we will get that interview with our Roswell Invaders, talking to the pitching coach and manager here on the other side. Don't go away.
New Mexico Governor Lujan Grisham has pursued an agenda to seriously impair and remove your Second Amendment rights to use, own, or purchase firearms and firearm-related items in our state. Last legislative session, District 27 Republican Senator Greg Nybert worked effectively and successfully with the NRA and other pro-Second Amendment groups to defeat the governor's attempt to ban or register firearms and accessories. We must retain legislators like Senator Nybert, who has the proven knowledge, skills, and experience to stop the liberal progressives from imposing upon our constitutional rights. Senator Nybert is the only candidate running for Senate District 27 to be rated A and endorsed by the NRA. Please vote to retain Senator Greg Nybert for Senate District 27.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Senate.
Hi, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture, and I want to tell you about our store-wide sale happening now. All items in every department are on sale. Upgrade your living space with power reclining sofas and love seats or beautiful sectionals with charging ports. Create ambience with amazing table and floor lamps. Get that long-awaited restful night's sleep with the new Serta mattress. Every department is on sale from our existing prices, so come down to Glenn's Furniture on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Eastern New Mexico University is proud to announce our newest offering, a Master of Social Work degree. This 100% online, affordable master's degree has 3 concentrations: clinical, clinical military, and children, youth, and families. This online master's degree is perfect for the working professional, as you can earn your degree on your own time with our flexible online courses. For more information, visit www.enmu.edu/MSW. Eastern New Mexico University, student success. That's what we're about.
Are you looking for something fresh, or are you trying to find that confident smile you once had? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental, and I would like to invite you to our office to experience a new kind of dentistry. We have the most advanced technology and a highly trained team to provide you the best experience possible. Whether you're looking for a bright new smile or just want to make sure everything checks out for the best, call us today and set up your appointment for your next great experience.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455. What made Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico for 2023? Great selection, great savings, and great people. Roswell Hyundai has an amazing selection of makes, models, and model years to choose from. If you can't find it, Roswell Hyundai can get it. And Roswell Hyundai will take any trade. The experts at Roswell Hyundai will work with you to get you behind the wheel of your next dream ride. So, what makes Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico? You do! Come check out the Used Car Supercenter only at Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
It's time for another great weekend of junior college baseball at NMMI in Roswell. This weekend, the Broncos host the Amarillo College Badgers in a 4-game series. Games are at noon and 3 Friday and Saturday. The Broncos are looking to get back into the Region 5 playoffs for the second year in a row, a first ever back-to-back appearance for NMMI. Come out and spend the day at the ballpark and enjoy Bronco baseball Friday and Saturday versus Amarillo College.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The first toilet being flushed in a motion picture was in the movie Psycho. Mike thought it was Gone with the Wind. Here's Mike Winters.
Good morning. It is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Invaders, we have pitching coach Evan Ketch, and then joining us on the phone, we have manager Garrett Toddy as well. Good morning. Garrett, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I can hear you guys great.
Excellent. Well, thank you, gentlemen. Welcome to Roswell. and I know everyone's getting excited for a new season of Roswell Invaders baseball here. So now, you guys are you guys new to the organization this year, or are you returning to the organization?
Well, I'll be new. I'm here visiting from Boston.
Okay.
For a few days to get a feel for things. But Garrett, he's the experienced hand.
Yeah. So Garrett, we've talked before, I think.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I think we did.
So I'm new to the organization, being that I've spent the past 3 years managing in Garden City, and then in 19 I played for Garden City, and then in 2018 I played for the Invaders for 3 weeks, and then got released and moved on to another team.
I got
so
you.
I've actually played for the Invaders before.
So you've spent some time in Roswell, New Mexico, and familiar with the area here. So while Evan's getting introduced to green chili, you've kind of had a little experience already.
It's on my list
more
this
than
afternoon.
enough.
So do you still
More
play,
than
or you
enough.
just
I
manage?
love my green chili.
So do you also play and manage, or just manage?
No, I just manage.
Okay, because I know sometimes in the Pecos League, sometimes the managers also do play and things. So I didn't know and I imagine that's a tall order to pull off, because not only you have to get ready physically for a game, but by the way, you got to set the team strategy and all the other things that a manager does. So I imagine that could be a tall order. So I imagine it's like, you know what, I'll just do the managing duties. That's good enough there. So Evan, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you end up here with the Invaders organization?
Well, interestingly enough, I pitched last year for the Austin Weirdos.
Okay.
I had contacted the
So you're going to
commissioner.
see them right out the gate.
Right. I had pitched, and I had knew about the Pecos League because they actually pitched for the White Sands Pupfish in 2017.
Okay.
Living a dream of pitching in professional baseball. And I'd stayed in touch with the commissioner, and I really enjoyed my few days in Alpine pitching with Austin.
Okay.
I contacted the commissioner after the season and asked if there was a team that might need a pitching coach.
Okay.
And he teamed me up with Garrett, and that's how I got here.
Excellent. So as far as working, I mean, because obviously, you guys are just now getting into Roswell and kind of getting ready for the season here. So really, working together, has it all been via phone and Zoom and that way, or have you had the ability to be in the room together and work and strategize?
It's great. My boys live in Northwest Arkansas. And
Okay.
Garrett and I had dinner in Kansas, Oklahoma a couple of weeks ago.
Nice. Okay. So you get to meet.
Yeah.
So what's that experience like for you guys? Because I imagine, because a team has to gel, and that's what spring training is going to be about. And as players, they gel and kind of form the bonds and create things. But as a coaching staff, you guys have to do that too. And so does it make it tricky in a league like this to do that kind of thing where, in essence, you're spread out until about a month or two before it's time to do all this? Does that create obstacles, or is that pretty easy for you guys to do that kind of transition?
I mean, there's some tough areas, but I feel like I can, being in the league as long as I have, I'm kind of used to getting to know people over the phone and then meeting them in person.
Sure.
right before we're about to go. So
since y'all
I'm
played,
pretty used to it
did
by
y'all have a
now.
history there together, playing or playing on the same field together at one point or another, or against each other or anything like that? I didn't know if you.
We've shared stories and our experiences.
Gotcha.
We've been talking on the phone once or twice a week, exchanging videos, talking about players. I've been learning about the league. Garrett, I've been learning about Garrett's style and his approach as a manager. I've been sharing what I want to bring as pitching coach, and I think we're really prepared. This is myself and Garrett, and we're hoping to have a bullpen coach also. We're going to have a good team of coaches to support the Invaders.
Excellent, which is really, that's kind of the, when you get, because you're getting the athletes, some of them, like they're fresh. This is young. They, maybe someone coming out of some college or high school ball, and so this is their first stint in a professional environment, and so. Not only do you have to be coaches and kind of teaches the X's and O's of the sport, but you also serve as mentors and almost parental roles a little bit in some of these. Is that something that you kind of, and I imagine it's got to be a bit of a new experience, especially if you've been a player and now you kind of flip to the coaching hat. Is that a neat transition or unique transition for you?
Well, speaking for myself, I've been a coach, and I've also been a parent.
Okay.
And I think that it's a good blend. And Garrett really brings knowledge and experience about the league, and he's been really free in sharing that.
Sure.
So we can figure out how to blend, his knowledge of the Pecos League, what
Sure.
I'm going to bring. And I think we're going to be a good combination to
Sure.
support the Invaders.
And I imagine for you, Garrett, that's whether you're a player or a manager, because of your experience in the Pecos League, obviously playing for multiple organizations within the group here, yeah, that kind of by default turned you into a mentor type, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I try to be a mentor to every player that comes and plays for me, even if they play for me for, I tell every player, even if you play for me for just one day, I'll care about you.
Sure.
For the rest of your career, I don't care. But
and that's got to be the mindset, and that's any good manager has to have that mindset. I'm guessing, because you got to earn the players' trust and respect, and that's how you do that. And but without establishing in that, you can't get them to do what you want, and vice versa. They're not going to want to do what you want them to do, and so that's the dance sometimes. And you do that by, like you said, you being there and being that person that, regardless of what that person feels like a situation's in, they can turn to you and help you, either help them resolve the problem or whatever it is they're doing. So that's, we can always talk about, how fast you swing the bat or how hard you throw the ball, or but really your job's, at the end of the day, sometimes is the, how did we get life right? And so I imagine that's got to be fun. That's got to be a cool aspect for the job for you guys. Yeah, it's awesome when you've been trying to teach a pitcher to throw a certain way, and they finally the light bulb moment happens. I mean, that's a cool moment. But those same times where they have their life moments, when some of these kids, and I say kids, they're young men. They hit those milestones in life. It's like they meet a person. It's like, oh, now they're getting married, and you're part of that. And that's probably, I'm guessing for you guys, probably the best part of the managing side. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it's up there with winning and being on the field and stuff.
Sure.
I'm not going to say that it's better than winning games and trying to win a championship, but it's up there for sure. It's up there pretty close.
Sure.
But haven't had a lot of those moments because I'm pretty young into my career, but it's I have had a couple, and they are special for sure.
And you got more ahead.
And I think, Mike, as you talked about working with the players, a lot of them are new to professional baseball, coming from college. They're playing every day instead of 3 or 4 times a week.
Sure.
Some of them are far away from home. They're in a different part of the country, a different environment.
Sure.
And so you get really 2 challenges as a coach. You want them to be able to continue to excel.
Sure.
But the second part is you want them to be able to do things that maybe they haven't done before.
Sure. Teach them to be professional ball players.
Right. I mean, these players have gone up, from little league to high school to college, and every time they understand that there's a leap to be made.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things that Garrett and I have been talking about. How do we elevate these players one more time to a level of competition that they haven't seen, maybe a set of conditions that they haven't seen. And that's really what happens off the field, after the game, before the game, to get the players ready and also to build on the strengths that they have.
Absolutely. Yeah, because I'm going to take a stab and say every ball player that comes through your doors, they have the ultimate goal of playing Major League Baseball. I mean, whether it's more of a dream or more of a reality, but every one of those people say someday they go to sleep at night and they're in the Yankees uniform or the Braves uniform, whatever their team is, pitching on the mound or behind the plate or whatever it is, they're having those fantasies. And so really at the end of the day, you guys are getting them ready for the next level of that. It's like, we're introducing you to professional baseball. It's a little different than your college. It's a little different than your high school. It's a little different than your little league. The demands are going to be different, but to get to the next level, you're going to have to elevate, and we're going to show you how to do that. And so, that's really what you guys are doing at the end of the day, is sitting here. But in the moment of that, you're creating those other moments we're talking about, because you can't mentor and teach without personal getting involved, and you get to the point where you're going to stay connected with some of these players long until you're retired, and grandkids are probably ball players themselves, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And so that's the idea. So it's really cool. It's like you guys are experiencing the cool part now, and you get to see and hearing a couple, over the next month here as the team's gelling and getting together and starting to form to what we're going to see the 2024 Invaders here. It's an exciting time, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I encourage folks. Now, as far as spring training go, what's the schedule for you guys now? Are players going to start rolling in here in the next week or two, or what's kind of like the timetable of what the Invaders are going to be doing over the next month here? Oh, Garrett, you there? Oh, we might have lost Garrett.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, there you go. Sorry about that. Did you hear the question?
You're good. I had to take care of something.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, you're fine, man.
Okay.
Usually I have, in the past had a 10-day spring training before the season started.
Mm-hmm.
But, Evan, I can't remember the exact date that
I think as of right now, the official date is the 23rd.
Okay.
It's possible it's going to be a couple days before that. I think
Okay.
I think the commissioner is going to be here tomorrow, and that's one of the things that I'll be
Kinda-
trying to work and getting that squared
So
away.
we're still kind of cementing some of those
right,
details
but
down.
but the first game is the 30th. So
Yes, with that is concrete. The
Right,
regular
that's it.
season schedule is happening. The first game will be a 3-game home series here against your former team, the Austin Weirdos. So a bit of a homecoming for you a little bit here.
Yep.
And it'll be out at Joe Bauman Stadium, and we want to pack that every night and get out there. It's a fun experience. Come out there, enjoy if you haven't been out to an Invaders game, make May 30th your first game here. Come on out and see what it's all about. Bring the whole family. One thing I know that the Invaders do, and this is a history every year, is the players love interacting with the families and the kids. Like if your kids want to get a chance to meet the players up close and personal and even hang out in the field with them and do things that you can never do in a Major League Baseball stadium with players, come out to the Invaders game here on May 30th and get the whole family experience. That's the part that is so much fun, and that's what's great about Invader Baseball and baseball at the Pecos League level. Is it's such an intimate experience for the fans, the kids, your kids. They'll get to go up and hang out. A lot of times the players will put their hats on their head, just let them be a part of the experience. And so I guarantee you bring your family out, by the end of the game, you're going to have a few baseball fans in your family, and you want to come back and see a few more. So, and by the way, the Roswell Invaders are always a pretty good baseball team. They're usually in the hunt for a championship or in the championship every year. So if you want to see some of the best of Pecos League baseball, it's right in your own backyard here in Roswell, New Mexico. So make Joe Bauman Stadium a regular visiting location here for May, June, and into July here as we get into the playoffs and the meat of the season later on here. So it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, and actually this year is the 70th anniversary of Joe Bauman's historic 1954 season when he
Excellent.
hit over 70 home runs.
Yes, it is. There's a reason Joe Bauman. Yeah, there's a lot of history there in Roswell here, and I know some people call it Coca-Cola Field, depending on I think when you were raised around here is what it kind of is. But yes, officially Joe Bauman Stadium named after the great Joe Bauman, our Roswell's own professional baseball player, and like you said, those records, and it's an anniversary season here, so who knows? Maybe there might be a special nights or two during the season devoted to those kind of things. So. And by the way, too, if your business or organizations want to get and sponsor game nights and get involved with all that stuff, you'll talk to the more ownership side. Not these guys are busy worrying about X's and O's of baseball, but reach out to the Roswell Invaders and through the more business side of the team, and they'll be happy to talk to you about that. Now I know we might be late in the ball game on this one, but I know a lot of times families will host players and things like that. Is that all arranged for this season, or is there still opportunities there for that?
We're still looking for host families. I think there's information on our website homepage, roswellinvaders.com.
Okay.
There's a link there that discusses what host families are asked to do and what the players are required to do. And host families, very, very important.
Yeah. Have you guys ever, like, as players, we're kind of the hosted as families? Do you ever get to experience that for yourselves?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've had a host family every year that I've been in the Pecos League.
Yeah, and from what I understand, usually those host families, they kind of spoil you guys a little bit, don't they? Everything I've experienced, it's literally like you got your home cooking at night, but because it's the best of both worlds. So if you're interested in being a host family, it's a lot of fun. I know the families that have done it in the past love it too, because it's like they got a ball player living with them. It's kind of a big deal for them, and it ain't gonna lie. They show off the players. You're kind of like a shiny toy for some of the players. Hey, come meet our ball player. But if you'd like to get involved and help out and be part of the a host family, reach out through the Roswell Invaders website, and we'll be happy to because we got players coming in a few weeks, and they're going to need beds to put those heads in. So reach out on that. But and of course, spring training stuff. When you're out there, are you doing all your stuff at Joe Bauman, or do you guys practice at other places and things like NIMI or something?
Yeah, we're doing everything that we do at Joe Bauman.
Okay, so if you want to come out and watch them practice, and just come on out there and hang out, and they'd love to have you. Come see. You want to get a glimpse of the 2024 team and all that. Now, real quick, I mean, is it too early to talk X's and O's and evaluate, or is that process side come for you guys here during spring training? Or
that's too early.
Yeah, I didn't know if you, like, I mean, you have a roster and you might have an idea, like, well, I remember him from so and so or this, but you really get a
wouldn't say it anyway right now.
Gotcha.
Sorry, but
no, I get that. But so let me ask you, as a manager, does that impact how you're gonna like if someone said to you, what's the 2024 season gonna, like, what you want to implement? I'm sure as a manager you have your staple things, this is me, but is it a lot of like, well, I got to see what I got to work with, and then we'll develop a strategy? Or, you know what I'm saying, like, is that part of the managing style? I know, like, in football you hear a lot of coaches and they say, well, I coach to the talent of my team, and if they're talented to be more run heavy, then that's what we're going to do. In baseball, is that similar? Like, it's like, hey, we're, if I got a bunch of hitters, we're going to, guess what? We're going to be aggressive hitting, but if we're more defensive minded, then we're going to play that way. So does your strategy form as you understand the talent, or is it, no, we want to get people that match what I'm trying to do?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to get people to match, how your philosophy and your managerial style is. But at the same time, you're not going to turn down good players. And
sure.
If you get that many good players that, like, my managerial style is more of old school, where it's, you hit line drives all over the place. You go first, third, second to home. You take the extra base. You steal bases.
Sure.
You play good defense and you pitch well.
Sure.
And that's my kind of more of the style I like managing. It wasn't the style that I played because I couldn't run very fast, so I wasn't going to do that. But
well, that makes sense.
it's a style of management that I like. So it's the best way that my brain works.
Sure.
So
makes sense.
I like doing that, but at the same time, if I got 5 or 6 guys that can, that are kind of gap to gap kind of power hitters and stuff, I'm not gonna steal as much.
Sure.
So,
makes sense. So it's like you have a philosophy and you like doing it this way, but you have to tweak it based on the talent you have in the on the team here, basically.
Exactly.
And on the pitching side, Garrett and I have really talked about, we want pitchers who throw strikes. I've been having conversations with pitchers that are thinking about coming out, and we've been talking, and they asked me what my philosophy is.
Yeah.
I want pitchers who throw first pitch strikes. And the second thing is 1-1 count, 1 ball, 1 strike. It's the pivotal count in an at bat. If you go 2-1, batters hit over 300. If you go 1-2, batters hit under 200. And I tell them, first pitch strike, and that 1-1 count, you've got to win the 1-1 count. And I want pitchers that throw strikes, because if you have a pitcher who throws strikes, most hitters can't cover the whole plate.
Gotcha.
So we want pitchers that throw strikes and that are aggressive and take charge of at bats.
And it's playing the odds, basically.
Absolutely. Because most hitters, even the best hitters, can't cover the whole plate.
Sure.
And so we're really going to be emphasizing pitchers that throw strikes and have a good starting staff and the guys that can come out of the bullpen and shut things down.
Sure. And that's true in any. It's like you want to teach. At the end of the day, it's making the least amount of mistakes. And it doesn't matter what sport it is. The team that makes the least amount of mistakes at the end of the day is probably going to win the game. It doesn't matter if it's tennis or baseball or football.
And I agree with Evan on the pitching side.
Sure.
Win the even counts, the 0-0s, the 1-1s, and the 2-2s, and then the 3-2 is the payoff. So it's pretty much even count. Also, if you win those counts. As a pitcher, if you win those counts and you get swings and misses or weak contact, you're going to win a lot of games.
Sure. Well, and now I'm just gee whiz curious. I mean, I'm not I know sports, but I'm more hockey and baseball. I just I know but I'm not deep dive into like the counts and everything. But so when you talk with pitching, is it like because if you're staying ahead in the count, if you're ahead. Does it give the pitcher more options? I mean, just like in any, kind of in football or if it's third down, you have less options than first down. Is it, if it's full count or if you're down 1 and up 3 balls, I mean, it kind of limits on what kind of pitches you can present to your batter, right? I mean, so it really hamstrings 100%. The batter or the pitcher on what they can do if they're behind on the counts on every at bat here.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, the key is, in Major League Baseball, about 60% of the pitches are strikes. And only a third of those are over the plate because those pitches look like strikes. So the whole idea is if you're ahead in the count, or if you're an even count, and you can throw a pitch that's on the edge of the strike zone that looks like a strike and may not be a strike,
right?
The batter has to be to
Gotcha.
try to get his bat on the ball.
So it's really hard to be aggressive if you're always behind in the count.
Absolutely. So you put your pitchers in an advantageous position.
Sure.
Where they can throw a pitch that's at the edge of the strike zone, or the pitch that looks like a strike but isn't a strike.
Sure.
They'll either swing and miss, or they'll hit the ball really weakly.
And this is different question, but same vein here. When it comes to pitching at the Pecos League level. Obviously in high school, college, they start to define roles for pitchers like you're a starter, you're a middle reliever, you're my closer. Does that get more defined at this level, or is it still a little fluid like in high school and college? Like, yeah, you're a closer, but I might bring in as the closer. I might make you put in the starting rotation, or is it more defined at this level? It's like, no, you're a starter. And we're not going to mess with that until we get to playoffs, or if something's not working and we need to change it up, or do they get fluid? It's like, no, you're a starter, but I might pull you. If I need you, I'm going to put you in this game for a couple innings. How does it work at this level like that?
It's pretty rigid.
Is it? Okay.
There is some gray area where you might have to move this person or that person, but for the most part, the people that the people that are starters are starters.
Gotcha.
And the people that are in the bullpen are in the bullpen.
Gotcha. I didn't know if because in high school level you kind of are learning that, and so one game they might be a middle reliever, the next game they might be in the starting rotation. I didn't know if the Pecos leave, some guys are still learning their niche on some of that.
Well, one of the differences is that we play every day.
Sure.
And so again, in high school and college, you're playing maybe 2 or 3
There's some
times
rest
a week.
in between those
College,
games.
it's 4 and maybe 5 times a week. So there's lots of off days.
Sure.
And you can shift guys back and forth. If you have a starting pitcher and he's got a day where he might be throwing in the bullpen, he could potentially come in for an inning if you need to
Gotcha.
have him help out. But here, when you're pitching every day, you got to have structure, and because you want to have guys on routines
Sure.
and schedules, so they can have some predictability. But one of the things that Garrett and I will be talking about, if we have a crucial situation and a crucial series against a tough opponent, we might mix things up a little bit. But that's the kind of stuff we're always talking about behind the scenes.
Sure.
Anyway.
So really, the game, the schedule doesn't even allow that. Otherwise we'd be killing our guys if we did it that way. So that brings another point here too, and it's kind of getting back to that other side with the ancillary side of baseball. Is part of your jobs too is training them to be professional athletes, not only in the limelight, but how to treat their bodies, how to take care of it. These are high school, and sure, they get some of that at that level, but when you get to professional, it's like, no, everything you put in your body and everything that comes out of your body, and what you do is impacts how you play at this level. A good diet can be the difference between a guy having a good game and a bad game sometimes in this level. We get to that level. So is that part of what you guys do, is teaching these players to say, you know what? You're young, and yes, you cram down them cheeseburgers. You will pay for that, and so you gotta pay attention to what you're putting in your body and what you're doing with your body. Is there a lot of that at this level where they're kind of, because they're young and guys and they're indestructible and they don't think about things like that sometimes,
Well, you'd be surprised. These kids coming out of college how health conscious they actually are.
Okay.
They actually do care about it because they understand that if I want to be not just a healthy person, but healthy on the field and not hurt, that I kind of need to care about what's going in.
Sure.
So a lot of them care more than you think. But
I think that might be the world we live in. Like now we live in an age where information and things are, when people like myself were their age, we didn't care or have, what I'm saying? I think a lot of it is now that the world we live in is smaller, it's just, no, this is what athletes do to get to where they're at. Right. You kind of know that going in. So that might be something too, where they just are better educated now than we were.
Yeah, I've been really impressed.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah,
I've been really impressed with the pitchers that I've talked to. I ask them about their workout routines and how they take care of themselves, and there's really a very high level. I think it's like anything else in life. You get 25 people together, and you're going to get a variety of approaches to different things. But I think one of the most critical things is that when you get to the professional level, player might ask, or someone might ask, what's important? And the answer is everything is important.
Yeah.
Some things are more important than others, but I think you're talking about diet, sleep, and then taking care of your body, working out pre-game and post-game. Those are the things that you're depending on to play every day. Again, for players who are coming from college, it's a big transition.
Sure.
And for guys that have been here, probably guys that have played in the Pecos League, understand a little bit more. And then plus we're driving cars on the road trip.
Yeah,
We're not
this is
hopping
a
on
little
planes.
different than the majors where everything's catered to them and they're getting on a bus after the game and driving hours into the night. So it's hard to be healthy in those worlds. You're right.
And that's the thing that's different.
Yeah.
That you're being challenged in your accommodations, you're being challenged in your travel, where maybe you didn't have to worry about that before.
Sure.
And that might elevate the importance of your diet and your sleep and where you get your workout routines.
Makes sense. Yeah, it does. It makes complete sense. Sometimes you have to learn it the hard way, and you get there and it's like, wow, that every time I do that, it's killing me. I should stop doing that. But yeah, there is also that thing because, obviously when we talk baseball, it's all about team and everyone's doing their part for the team. But it's kind of, when you talk about taking care of yourself, it's like, really, that's your personal responsibility to the team. You didn't make sure you're the best you for when it's time for you to perform for this team, you were there and able to do it. And so it's kind of no, you've got to make sure you take care of your body. What you put into it does count. How you work out and how you take care of it afterwards. How do you treat it when you abuse it? How do you this is the life lessons you learn, and that's really your responsibility to the team, is saying, hey, you want to do your best for the team, then it's on you and no one else to take care of yourself to do that.
Yeah, that brings to mind the concept of there's 9 guys on the field, and it's really 9 against 1. You got a lineup of 9 guys against a pitcher. You've got 9 guys out in the field against a batter. And although there's a lot of individual moments in baseball, you really need to remind people it's 9-on-1, and you need to be supporting your teammates. So if you're not taking care of your body or your mind, then you're not just letting yourself down. You could be letting your teammate down.
And that's important, but that's team sports, and that's the case. And it doesn't matter if it's baseball or any sport. That's the concept you have to do to be a team and for it to work. But I would, in pitching, we're talking about health and fitness and everything. Pitching's always been that one enigma when it comes to health and fitness, because, and yes, they stay healthy and fit, but and I'm a little older school, but generally some of the best major league pitchers kind of look like they hang out at the bar sometimes. Like they're loose. They're not, like, if they're muscled up and tight, they're not the best pitchers in the world. But if they're a little more loose, they tend to be the ones, especially maybe some of the hurlers just throw heat all the time. They might be a little jacked, but guys that have a repertoire of pitches, they're not jacked up and look like that. They kind of need be a little bit more flexible on some of that stuff.
I mean, I think pitching comes down to, can you get the ball over the plate? Can you get guys out? And I think that and it's like with any position. You might look a little different. Your size might be a little different. But if you can execute, it really doesn't matter. I mean, I think that's what Garrett and I have been talking about. Players, we're evaluating. What do we want and what do we need? And I think, Garrett, you might be able to comment on this, that bottom line, we're always talking about, can the person produce on the field?
Yeah, 100%. That's obviously we care how they produce on the field, how talented they are, if they can produce on the field, and then but it's to kind of take away from what we're talking about. It's not all about what they can do on the field. It's what kind of person they are also.
Well, and that's part of that chemistry.
Right. It's what kind of person, it's what kind of character they have, So that's how we evaluate players is, can they help us on the field? Okay, now what kind of human being are they? Are they going to be good to their host house's kids? Are they going to be good to kids that come to the ballpark? Are they going to be out? Are they going to be good members of society? After the game, on the way home or when they, might go out for dinner or whatever.
And it's easy to forget that sometimes, because at the end of the day, these are young men, 19, 20. These are people that don't have a lot of life experience yet, and you're putting a lot on their plate at one time. And so part of that is, how do they handle that? And how does some handle it better than others? And that's really, and at the end of the day, you're teaching the X's and O's of baseball, but you're also navigating through that part of life. It's like, how do you get to the next level in this sport? We're going to listen to us, show it, and we're going to, if you do the right things, then those opportunities will come. And that's really what you're teaching these guys at this level, is how to be the professional ball player. How to, if you're going to go to the next level and be the next Jason Giambi or whomever we're talking about here, you got to learn it here. And that's what you guys are teaching. Whether it's goofing off in batting practice or in a serious moment, that's all part of the experience.
And for some of these guys, particularly players who are new to the league and that want to talk about playing at a higher level, this is their opportunity to demonstrate how they achieve on the field and off the field.
Sure.
There's scouts looking to bring players from the Pecos League to the Frontier League or the Pioneer League. So we're not existing in a vacuum. And if you have a dream, if you have a goal, you've got to think about being a professional 24/7.
Absolutely.
Every single day for 2 months and the playoffs, because everybody is watching.
And especially in the world we live in, where everything you do ends up on the internet 2 minutes later.
Absolutely.
And so you got a lot of eyeballs, and it's a good and bad, and you got to understand the both, and that's what these young men are learning at that level. And that's why it's so much fun for you as the fan to come out and be a part of it, because they come out, and that's what I say, they really are, because it's a big deal for them too. This is, in some cases, the first time they get quote-unquote fans and people that are appreciating them for them and their talents. And so it's new for them too. So come be a part of that, experience it, and who knows? You can meet a guy out of the ballpark, and 10 years later you're watching them on ESPN because they're in Game 6 of the NLCS or something like that. You know, that's the cool part about this. So.
It's happened.
Yep, it absolutely happened. It will happen. It will happen again. I guarantee. There'll be some guy on the roster here a couple years down the road. You'll see him, and they'll be playing for the Braves or playing for one of the major league clubs here. That's the cool part about Pecos League baseball. So get your calendar. So now, like you said, you can go to RoswellInvaders.com, or if you can procure one of their temporary calendars, you can put that on the fridge here. But go to RoswellInvaders.com. You can go there, get tickets. You can even do season tickets. Like if you want to, I don't care when the games are. I want the tickets, and I just want to roll up. That you can do all that stuff and get there and come out and make your weekends here start May 30th. And I say not only weekends, but every day of the week. Because I'm looking at this, especially you look in June. There's literally, like the last week of June, you're playing, actually the last 3 weeks of June, you have no day off. There's a game every single game, whether it's here in Roswell or on the road somewhere. So getting back to the point you were talking about earlier, just looking at the month of June, the 1st through the end of the month here, I see the 4th is the only open day.
We have 31 games in 31 days.
Yeah,
and that'll get us about 60% of the way through the season, and we will know what kind of team we have after those 31 days.
Yeah, that's a gauntlet for those guys, and so, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and it all starts May 30th, Game 1 here. But look, if you want, maybe those last couple weeks of May there leading up, go hang out in Joe Bowden Stadium and catch a few practices, some spring training, maybe a scrimmage or two if they get some stuff, maybe some other teams roll into the area and get a little scrimmage or something. Come be a part of that, and then come out for Game 1 here May 30th out at Joe Bowden Stadium. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So good deal. So what, Rook, before we leave you guys, I'll start with you, Garrett. What's the thing you're most excited about this season? Is there something you're looking forward to the most or can't wait to get involved with?
Well, I have an answer that I can't say on radio because it has to do possibly with my old employer.
I got you.
But
you got some scores to settle.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
I got
maybe
you.
A little bit.
Makes sense.
But no, just excited to get back to it. That's it. Just excited to get back to
just doing baseball again, doing baseball things and doing
back
baseball.
To pro baseball. Yeah. I do youth ball during the off season, so getting back to the pro guys is always fun.
Yeah, well, good deal. So just doing the thing. How about for you, Evan? What are you most excited about this season?
Now, I'm looking forward to playing winning baseball.
Excellent. Just wanting to get out there and do baseball.
And I think that's great for the fans, and it's also for the players. When teams are winning, everybody's watching. Fans and scouts.
That's right. You want to you hear a professional level, and they're talking about team woes and everything. Team goes on a winning streak, people stop talking about that stuff. You ever notice that? That's true. Winning fixes a lot of things in sports. So, yeah, come on out. And again, but here's the thing. This team's always they're good. Every year, they're not competing for the championship. They're right near it. And so if you want to see the best of Pecos League baseball, it is right here at Joe Bauman Stadium. And I guarantee, even though we don't know the makeup of what this team's going to be when it hits the field May 30th, I guarantee it's going to be some of the best baseball that the Pecos League has to offer, and you're going to love it. And come meet the 2024 Roswell Invaders May 30th, and come hang out. And like I said, if you want to do more and be a host family, or maybe your business wants to sponsor a night out, Invader night out at the ballpark, get on RoswellInvaders.com, and you'll find all the information to do that there too. So. Good deal. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it. And thank you for taking time to talk to us, Garrett. I know you're in the middle doing a bunch of other stuff, so we thank you for spending a few minutes here, and we look forward to seeing you here, and good luck this season. We can't, hopefully we're talking about another championship here in August or late July time frame. So good deal. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. It is, thank you, Garrett. We'll let you go. Thank you, Garrett. Now you can go back and take care of things there. Appreciate it.
Thanks, pal.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. And then thank you as well. I appreciate it here.
Absolutely.
And can't wait. Get your Invaders gear and let's do this. Let's cheer on and talk about a Pecos championship here in a few months. So be excited. All right. It is 9:58. I need to play a commercial or two before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
From 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
Bill Cunningham is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Greg Clugston in Washington. The issue of abortion is back before the Supreme Court. Later today, justices are hearing arguments about Idaho's law that bans abortions at all stages of pregnancy with limited exceptions.
Doctors say that more women in Idaho whose conditions are typically treated with abortions must now be flown out of state for care, since doctors must wait until their patients are close to death to provide abortions within the bounds of state law. Anti-abortion groups blame doctors for mishandling emergency pregnancy cases.
That's correspondent Donna Warder. The Senate last night approved a $95 billion foreign aid package, and now at the White House, President Biden is about to sign that measure into law. The bill includes a boost of U.S. assistance for Ukraine.
A new big package of U.S. military aid will help Ukraine avoid defeat in its war with Russia. Winning will still be a long slog, though. The arms and ammunition in the $61 billion military aid package should enable Ukraine to slow the Russian army's bloody advances, and it will buy Ukraine time for long-term planning about how to take back the fifth of the country now under Russian control. Michael Clark, visiting professor in war studies at King's College London, says ultimately it offers Ukraine the prospect of staying in the war this year. Sometimes in warfare, you've just got to avoid being rolled over. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
The legislation approved by Congress also would force TikTok's Chinese owners to sell their stake in the company. Standoffs between pro-Palestinian student protesters and universities remain tense from coast to coast. Hundreds are still encamped at Columbia University in New York, although there are some signs of progress. Smoke seen from an All Nippon Airways plane, but it landed safely in northern Japan today. More details at townhall.com.
Biden has started tracking Christians like...
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Pasteurized milk have tested positive for remnants of the bird flu virus that has infected dairy cows.
The Food and Drug Administration stresses that the material is inactivated and do not represent actual virus in the milk that may be a risk to consumers. FDA officials did not indicate how many samples they tested or where they were obtained, but they say they are continuing to study the issue. The announcement comes nearly a month after an avian influenza virus that has sickened and millions of wild and commercial birds was detected in U.S. dairy cows. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
A former Washington State police officer wanted in 2 killings died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound following a chase in Oregon. The officer went on the run Monday after killing 2 people, including his former wife. The man's 1-year-old baby was taken safely into custody. News and analysis at townhall.com. Australian police say they have arrested 7 teenagers accused of following a violent extremist ideology. They say the teens are part of a network that includes a 16-year-old boy who is accused of the stabbing of a bishop in a Sydney church last week. More than 400 police officers conducted raids across Sydney today to protect the community from what they said was a potential attack. A restoration project is underway at George Washington's home.
And archaeologists say they found 2 perfectly preserved bottles filled with cherries at his Mount Vernon estate. The bottles are made of dark green glass. They were sealed and upright when they were found under a 1770s-era brick floor. The estate said the discovery is part of a privately funded $40 million restoration project.
Tasha Stevens reporting. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Crazy miracles
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
And we do mean happy.
We sure do.
The happiest.
From the hearts of our bottom.
That's where I keep my heart. It's the warmest spot on me.
It is. Actually, that was an old Dynamite bit. We love you from the hearts of our bottoms. Yeah, I stole it from Dynamite 30 years ago.
As one does.
As one.
Sure.
You know. There's another one I used to love doing, but I can't do it anymore. People get mad when I do it, so I don't do it anymore. But it made me laugh when they did it.
Waddle doodle.
Yeah, Grease Man World.
Let's put it this way: it used to be a real Wild West round radio.
Yeah. 1960. Oh my God. Sorry, I was going just reminiscing about Grease Man bits. Oh man, sorry. That's why I'm here doing what I'm doing.
I gotta say, I was watching a thing the other day about the kind of like the rise and fall of the shock jock.
Mm-hmm.
And they started talking about Stern, kind of how he started back in the late 70s, real early 80s, with the NBC and all that.
All right.
I came to a conclusion about one Howard Stern.
All right.
That man has never been attractive.
No, he's a
that man has been just a beast from the second he came out that his mom's womb.
Yeah.
Like the mustache with the perm fro.
Yeah.
It's a bad
look.
look.
Now that he's rich, he looks more.
Well, he's gotten older, but he still always looked like a poodle.
Well, yeah. And part of his problem is he's a tall, skinny dude.
Mm-hmm.
And he sticks out like a sore thumb.
Right.
Like he walks in the room and he's always 4 inches taller than everybody else. And then he puts the back in the 80s and 70s, had that pompadour poodle thing going on, which added another 6 inches of height to him.
Boy, that, and then...
and I'm pretty sure he wore high-heel boots, too, so he added another couple inches on him.
I know the official look of the 1980s is perm fro and mustache.
Yeah.
Not a good look.
Yeah, but he
Never
always
has
wore...
been.
Like, a common look for him during that time period was he wore combat boots that were, like, not laced up all the way, too. Like, it would just be laced at the shoe part, but where the ankle and leg part start, that was all wide open.
Oh, that's terrible for your ankles.
Well, that's how he rolled most of the time.
I was like, you got a rolled ankle written all over you on that one.
Combat boots or Doc Martens, whatever you say, they usually have a heel on them about another 2 inches on them.
Like, I know it's an old hat joke, but boy, howdy, if any human being alive ever had a face for radio, it's that man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he embraced that, and that's part of why I think he was beloved. He embraced, like, basically, in those times, you couldn't bag on him because he already did it to himself.
Right.
Like.
Well, he was self-deprecating, which you have to have a modicum of.
But I think he was one of the first on radio to really do that in a regular. Because before that, it was Wolfman Jack and Don Imus, and these guys love them some them. You know what I mean? And Stern, I think, loves him too.
Sure.
But he knows how to play the hits.
He's also gotten
a
lot less humble about it. Now, obviously, when you're signing $500 million contracts for Sirius, you're going to get less humble. But he's gotten a whole lot less humble in his later years.
Hey, Jocelyn, our guest is at the front door. They texted me. I don't know if she can hear me or is listening. But our guest is here downstairs. He texted me instead of phoning you. Sometimes people forget I'm doing a show.
Right? It's like, we're kind of in the middle of something here.
I can't, answer all the things going on right at this moment. But yeah, and that's, and to be honest, I don't listen to him anymore. I haven't listened to him in years, and because he's going off the rails.
Well,
since COVID,
his shtick has changed.
Well, that, and he got weird once COVID. I mean, he was weird before that, but it spiraled.
In this new Howard Stern, it's more of like he covers like entertainment stories, obviously, like news stories, but there's no place for the whack packers in this day and age.
No, not anymore. I mean, yes and no. Like, to be honest, it's evolved to his whack packers are now part of his staff. Like, he's got Sal and Richard.
Yeah.
And he's had them since pretty much Sirius days. I think they were there for the last couple of years of terrestrial, but mostly their Sirius era of Stern, and they're kind of have filled the void of the whack packer per se, and so they do things that still make him in the realm of Howard Stern. Where you're like, now he's talking about The Bachelor and how much he hates Trump and celebrities all the time. But they do crowbar a little bit in their old school shtick of various things that gross people out.
Checking in on the chat, Ayana. Yes, he has a face for radio, and then Greg checks in. He looks like the spokesperson for "Hey kids, come get the candy out of the van." You're not wrong, especially old like 80s Stern. Very much
to his credit. Look at those. Okay, did she go?
Yeah,
they're in. Okay, I couldn't tell or not. I'm just getting.
They're in.
I just got messages, and I wasn't sure what they were being responded to or not. So I wasn't really sure. But to Stern's, look at the other people who were famous in radio at the time. If any of you people think Don Imus was an attractive man, you don't know what attractive is. And I don't claim to be a knowledge of these things, but I can tell you, Don Imus has never been what we call a looker. And I would argue if you shave down Wolfman Jack, he's probably an ugly dude too. That would be my prediction.
Yeah, Don Imus, I mean, that's another one of those. But he probably looked at least semi-decent in his younger years, but he's been perpetually like 87 in radio. I mean,
right.
He was always an old man in radio.
To me, he's the crypt keeper. Like, right? He was, and even when he was like in the 80s, he still looked like he did 20 years later, just slightly wrinklier.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, he found a look and he landed on it.
Radio people, by general, are all ugly. That's when they start putting cameras in these things, and you're looking like, God, that's what they look like?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, I can't. That's probably the most thing I hear from people more often than not is, you don't look like I thought you would.
Yeah.
Or you don't look like you sounded.
I still get that every once in a while, and I know that. People listen on the radio, but I'm like, there's literally hundreds of hours of my ugly mug on the internet.
That's true.
It's not hard to find.
Come find me.
But it does. Every once in a while, that's what you look like. Yeah.
It is.
That's what I look like.
Yeah. You got to kind of like gauge on their voice, like, oh, that's what you look like.
I thought you'd be bigger. Yeah, we get that sometimes. But like I said, usually I always get at the most inopportune times.
I'm just going to start responding with, me neither.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
I didn't think I looked like this either.
But yeah, usually it's like when I'm at a drive-through ordering some copious amount of food or doing something slightly embarrassing. It's, Mike, you're Mike. Yeah, thanks.
That's why you got to order all your food like Sylvester.
Right.
So that nobody notices.
That's why I wear disguise when I order 37 cheeseburgers, please.
Thing is, my disguise is a mustache, and so it didn't really work for me.
So you got a trench coat walking around as me.
It's just a hat on a hat.
Exactly. But, yes. So, but yeah, getting back to the radio thing, that was, it's different now. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. Actually, real quick before I do that, I do need to invite y'all. Coming up starting tomorrow, Moore's Carnival is going to be hanging out in Roswell at the Wool Bowl beginning tomorrow through May 5th. It's part of the Moms Loving Hope Big Carnival. That's April 25th through May 5th out at the Wool Bowl. Every night, the carnival's going to be open, and the rides are going to be having all kinds of stuff going on. Matter of fact, it'll begin tomorrow night, 6 p.m. They'll open the carnival, and it'll be open from 6 to 10. You can get unlimited ride armbands for $30. Also, if you just want to buy individual, tickets are $2 each if you purchase individually. If you buy a sheet of 20, they're $1.50 per ticket. Cost to ride children, it's $3 or 3 tickets per ride. Adults, 4 tickets per ride. If you ride Loco, that's a 5-ticket job. But you can get the unlimited ride armbands where you don't have to count tickets. You just get on and go. But if you want just to ride a couple rides, you can get the tickets individually. Next Tuesday, they're going to open at 6, and the carnival will be 2 for Tuesday. If you buy 1 armband, you get 1 armband free. That's on Tuesday of next week. But and then don't forget on Saturday and Sunday, they'll have extended hours. They'll be open from 1 to 11 on Saturday, 4 to 10 on Sunday, and 6 to 10 Fridays, and other days, Thursdays, and then 6 to 11 on Fridays. So they've got full, and all starts tomorrow out at the Wool Bowl. Come on and bring the whole family out and ride the rides. And, of course, there'll be tons of food trucks, live music. Moms Loving Hope will have all kinds of fun stuff going on. And, of course, if you need information, resources, they'll have nonprofits with all kinds of resources for families out there, too. So come for the fun and stay for the resources and education. All right, it is 9:16. We're going to have the folks from American Legion Post 61 join us here in just a few. But before we do that, let's take a gander at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have some gusty wind coming up by tomorrow and very warm temperatures for the next few days. We'll be near 90 on the afternoon high today. A few clouds drifting through, but we'll also get some sunshine. Overnight, cloudy, and we're in the upper 50s, and then we'll have low pressure passing to our north on Thursday. Mix of sunshine and clouds going up to 90, wind gusting to 50. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 65 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 56%. Winds are currently out of the north at 16 miles per hour. For today, mostly sunny. 90 are expected high today. Winds will be out of the north, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Those winds will shift to the south later this afternoon. Mostly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 59 degrees. Winds will be out of the south, 15 to 20 miles per hour. They'll drop down 10 to 15 after midnight tonight. Thursday, not the most bueno of days. We have a fire weather watch that will kick in at 8 a.m. tomorrow. That will remain in effect through 10 p.m. tomorrow evening. Also, a high wind watch that will kick in at 11 tomorrow, remaining in effect through 8 p.m. Tomorrow evening. I expect that fire weather watch will be upgraded to a red flag warning at some point during the day today. For the weather tomorrow, they're talking patchy blowing dust for the afternoon. Mostly cloudy early, then gradually becoming sunny. Highs near 90 once again, but the winds are going to be blowing out of the south, 5 to 15 in the morning, but as the day progresses, the winds will increase 25 to 35. Could see wind gusts as high as 55 miles per hour on Thursday. Thursday night, patchy blowing dust will keep lingering until about 8 p.m., then clear skies with an overnight low of 51 degrees. Windy, west winds 25 to 35, gusting as high as 45 miles per hour. They'll drop down 10 to 20 after midnight Thursday. Friday, sunny, 82 for a high. Winds will remain breezy out of the west, 10 to 15 early, 20 to 25 for Friday afternoon. Saturday, sunny, cooler, high of only 78, but breezy. And then sunny and highs near 80 for Sunday. All right, it is 9:18. We're going to take a 4-minute break. Political season has started, folks. The ads breaks are getting bigger. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll talk American Legion Post 61 on the other side. Don't go away.
Attention Roswell and surrounding areas. What you're about to hear will totally blow your mind.
It's the grand reopening at the all-new Roswell Ford. The all-new Roswell Ford has new management and a whole new attitude.
I interrupt this commercial for more breaking news.
Attention car buyers. The all-new Roswell Ford needs your trade, and we need them now. So there's never been a better time to trade and upgrade to a new Ford or quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV for less. Making payments on your current vehicle and you want out early, even if your current car is rusted, busted, and can't be trusted. Roswell Ford wants to spring you out of your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Worried about payment or interest rate? Don't sweat it. Roswell Ford has partnered with more lenders that can help with all types of credit with rates as low as 0% for 66 months. Get pre-approved today at RoswellFord.com. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or visit us online at RoswellFord.com. $15.15 per thousand financed on select models with approved credit.
This is Candy Spency-Zell. I've been involved in agriculture my whole life. I own our cattle ranch with my husband, and I still own family farms with my brothers down by Artesia. My dad was a farmer, his dad was a farmer. Agriculture and livestock is in my blood, and that's who I am. I have a lifetime's worth of experience and knowledge on the issues facing farmers and ranchers in New Mexico. I'm running for the state senate because I want to fight for our rights and our needs. I will protect our water in New Mexico, and especially here in the southeast. I will make sure that water rights from our basins are not bought up by developers and pumped to Albuquerque and Santa Fe. As your senator, I will protect our water. I'm Candy Spency-Zell asking for your vote in the upcoming Republican primary on June the 4th.
Paid for by Candy Spencer-Zell for State Senate, District 32.
Asian Market brings the flavors of the East to Roswell. The market side has lots of new and different items, including new sauces and noodles to enhance your Asian dishes, plus new snacks and more. And the restaurant inside Asian Market has all Nook's favorites from 11 to 5, like wontons, egg drop, rice or noodle soup, crispy calamari, and the best barbecue fried rice in town. Dine in or call ahead for easy pickup. And find Asian Market on Facebook for updates on open times and specials.
Hi, this is Nook. Come see me at Asian Market, 5702 South Main in Roswell. Call 575-840-5309.
Are you walking around with a space in your mouth from a missing tooth? Are you having difficulty chewing? Or are you holding back on your big smile in those group photos? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental. Did you know that we provide dental implant treatment for our patients? We can help you replace one tooth or all your teeth with dental implants. Why not call our office today? Set up an appointment and let's chat about options that will boost your confidence and allow you to live the life with the smile you want.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455.
Check out some of the Dollar Days bargains you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market. Select bottles of Food Club barbecue sauce are $1 each, and select varieties of Kellogg's breakfast cereals are 2 for $10. In produce, snack-sized mangoes are 2 for $1, and large cantaloupe are $2 each. In the meat department, family packs of choice boneless beef arm roast are $4 a pound, and family packs of bone-in sirloin cut pork chops are just $1 a pound. These are some of the Dollar Days savings you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market.
It's time for another great weekend of junior college baseball at NMMI in Roswell. This weekend, the Broncos host the Amarillo College Badgers in a 4-game series. Games are at noon and 3 Friday and Saturday. The Broncos are looking to get back into the Region 5 playoffs for the second year in a row, a first ever back-to-back appearance for NMMI. Come out and spend the day at the ballpark and enjoy Bronco baseball Friday and Saturday versus Amarillo College.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Elephants use these skin folds on their bodies to crush mosquitoes. Mike Winters uses his to hide M&Ms. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from American Legion Post 61 family, Commander Lee in studio with us this morning, and of course auxiliary president as well, Jen as well, and then Don's here too. He's handling business. So good morning, everybody. How are you all doing today? Welcome back. Of course, we had you on talking books and things last time, but it's great to have you back in studio still. It's nice to be amongst us again. That's an awesome thing.
Yeah. I just wish I could travel in a vehicle.
Yes.
That day will come.
It will, eventually.
Till then, wave hi to Lee as he's ripping up and down the 2nd Street, getting to and from on his scooter there. So.
On my Zippy. Yeah.
Yes.
Can we get maybe some mechanics to work out that thing? We can soup it up for you, and perhaps.
It goes 4.6 miles per hour already. It's not too bad. I mean, when
you're
that low to the ground, that seems like, you're going 40 miles an hour.
Hey, let's do 8. Let's do this. Let's put some. I'm thinking we could get.
Yeah.
I still remember years ago riding those souped-up go-karts.
Yeah.
And, how fast was I going? Well, you're going about 30 miles an hour, and I think that seems like a lot faster when you're really low to the ground.
I think we should soup it up enough where you have to wear a helmet to drive that thing around. That's what I think we should do.
I think if we could put tracks on it, that'd be great, because then you could go anywhere in Roswell.
This is true.
The sidewalks around here are awful.
I'd change all that out for a good set of shock absorbers.
Yeah, suspension might be probably appreciated.
There's no shock absorbers on it now. I mean,
it's whatever meets on your butt is the shock absorber.
I don't know if anybody from the city of Roswell is listening, but the streets suck, when it comes to ADA.
Yeah.
I mean, unless I'm downtown, it's...
Right, yeah, because they redid all that over the last, 5-6 years?
Yeah, there 5 or 6 blocks.
But outside of that corridor, it is a little...
The upheaval of the
sidewalks.
Sidewalks, I mean, in particular, there's one right by the barber shop on 2nd. I have to go into the street unless I want to launch,
Yes.
And even then, I think I'd high center and not be able to go through. So.
Well, if we do need to do some Evel Knievel-like things, let me know, and we'll film it, and we'll make some money off this.
Well, I don't think I'll be jumping the Snake River Canyon anytime soon.
You sure? Think about it.
Yeah, that didn't end so well for Knievel.
We can garner
so
some attention, though.
He broke like 108 bones in his body.
But he survived. He turned out fine.
Yeah, sure.
You don't want to go through the broken bones anymore?
No.
I've only broken a couple bones in my life, and I'm good. I mean, the one on the inside of my right hand, that was really bad. And the ribs, I bounced it at an American Legion.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the leg was the worst, though. That put you in the hospital for 6 months.
That took you out of commission for a long time. So
6 months.
Yeah, exactly. So
maybe longer. I got to go see a specialist and find out what's wrong with it.
Well, Godspeed on all that. Hopefully that goes more smoothly than your rehabbing and everything's going here in the last 6 months.
But if we were going to go to talk about American Legion,
that's how I was.
April is CNY month, so we're trying to raise money for children and youth right now.
Excellent. Yeah, one of our pillars when we talk about American Legion thing is supporting in the community and getting involved and working with youth. This is something, Legion-wide is big, but our American Legion Post 61 in particular, through scouting and various other entities, we do not only, but gravitate towards children's charity type of
Yeah, we need more kids for Cub Scouts. We need Cub Scout leadership is what we really need. We need Cub Scout leadership and we need Cub Scouts. And then we can kickstart our charter back up again.
Yeah,
right now
we do have our Boy Scout troop, but the Cub Scouts are on a little hiatus right now. So
Troop 2 is kind of self-sufficient, but
they're a legacy troop. That's why.
But the
that's
Cub
why we
Scout
brought
troop.
them
They have strong leadership too.
We're having a bit of a problem because
and that's part of what scouting is. When you start new packs and things, because it's all volunteers, and so And quite frankly, most of the parents are in because their kids are in, and that's
we had a very decent Cub Scout
Yeah.
master, and then she moved to, well, her husband's in the federal protection stuff.
So that
and he moved to
life-
North Carolina.
Yes.
She had to go there, and then they came back, and they found out like a week later they were going to Arizona.
No.
So
Wow.
it's like they couldn't
It's just keep on
restart.
coming. But yeah, life happens, and so that's what's
Yeah.
going on there.
I don't blame them. It's just I don't want to live in Arizona. It's too hot.
But yeah, if you have interested, reach to the Cub Scouts, reach to us. We'd be happy to kind of get the ball rolling on some of that if you're interested.
Yeah,
in.
it doesn't take a whole lot to do. It's just a few hours a week, and you get to support kids doing
and I
wonderful
can speak
things.
personally about the positive parts of scouting. I am an Eagle Scout. I am a product of scouting. I started in Cub Scouts at 8 years old, and I was involved in scouting right up until I joined the military. So I had a very
I didn't make it to Eagle.
I had a very strong career in scouts.
I made it to life. That
yeah.
was it.
Well, that's a lot of people that they never make that hump from life to Eagle. That's kind of they'll get to life in like a year, and then next thing you know, the struggle to get to
Yeah,
Eagle.
but then I was in the Ultimate Boy Scout.
Yeah. But it's also a busy
When I
time
went
for
in the
kids
Air
as you're around
Force,
that time.
you know,
Yeah,
it's
see,
like-
that's the other thing.
That's like Big Boy Scouts.
And the other world of life is happening for these kids. They get involved in school activities, sports, if they're, and then things like your Eagle Project take the back burner, and so that's what happened. But anyway, my whole point was that I can attest, scouting has done so many great things in my life, and your children will definitely benefit from experience in scouting.
And we have a different approach to it. Of course, we're more traditional.
Yeah.
We don't buy into some of the newfangled stuff. We prefer traditionalism.
The 12 points of the Scout Law and the
all
Cub
that
Scout
stuff.
motto. And
Yeah,
the,
we're big on Americanism and
things that-
patriotism and all of that.
The
Sort
things
of
they
thing.
make these kids learn and recite are the same things that we believe in too.
And next
Yeah.
month, of course, is Memorial Day.
Mhm.
Yep.
We're still looking for a speaker for Memorial Day, and if you have any used flags that you need retired, we're
taking them.
Happy to run all over town and pick them up.
Yep,
so
that's right.
Just give us a call.
We do ask you if you've got your tattered and torn and unserviceable flags, don't throw them in the trash. Give them to us and let us do the
We'll
proper
take care of
retiring
them.
of them.
I just picked up some from the State Highway
Yeah,
Department.
DOT.
DOT.
They called
yesterday.
me the other day and said, "Hey, we got these flags." And I said, "Yeah, well, I'll send Don by."
Yep. And if you don't understand, it's a sign of respect. This is this one thing, and we as Legionnaires, this is the heart of the Americanism that we.
That's right.
And so
Yeah.
there are etiquette for this flag, and every single American that is living under the freedoms of which that flag protects them from should respect it enough to at least do the proper protocols and procedures that we have. Proper flag etiquette is not only a suggestion; it's how that flag should be treated. And I'm even one of those people that gets a little salty about that. I mean, I don't raise a stink, but the folks that wear the American flag T-shirts and all that stuff, I was like, technically, that's disrespecting the flag. If you look at the code, you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, I guess. And the American Legion is really guilty of that. They
Sure.
sell shirts that are made.
I understand
like
it's not the
flags.
intent, so that's why I don't really make a stink
Yeah.
about it. But if you read the letter of the law, you're
Well, the
disrespecting
flag
of the
code.
flag. Yeah, you're disrespecting the flag.
Right.
But I don't have a problem with it.
I don't either because of the intent.
You're right, though. In the back of my mind, I look at that and I say, reminds me of Larry Flint in the 80s. He showed up to court in a diaper made out of American
But
flag.
that being said, I'm never going to poo-poo someone that's want to be patriotic and wear flags and things like that. But that being said, I do
The
at least
Supreme
respect
Court
things like
has
flag
ruled
etiquette
that
in this way.
it's free speech,
Yeah.
and whereas those of us who have lived and served under the flag and known people who have died under the flag, it's bothersome.
It's more than a cool T-shirt decor.
It
to us.
is, but
So,
at the same time, if that's how you express your patriotism, I'm not gonna.
I'd rather you do that
complain.
than something else.
Absolutely, I'm not going to pick nits here and question your loyalty over something stupid like that.
Right. And Memorial Day this year is on the 27th of May, and we're hoping that we can have some help from the community. We're going to be doing a cleanup over at Memory Lawn. I'm thinking
Yes.
we should do it, the Saturday before? So the 25th?
The more the merrier.
Yeah.
I want to make note. We have noticed that some volunteers have come out to Memory Lawn without our knowledge and cleaned up and mowed
And it is very much
stuff like
appreciated.
I'm about to say thank you.
I'm not going to complain.
No,
I'm gonna
thank
say
you for
thank you
getting
so
involved.
much.
We appreciate that. If you'd like to coordinate with us so we can maybe do a concerted effort,
That would
we
be
would love
better.
that too.
Yeah.
But like if you want to get more involved, let's talk.
Yeah.
Oh, because more hands make less work. I mean, that's,
Yes,
that's
they do.
just
Right.
the truth. And we really, we, the American Legion, have taken ownership of that cemetery, but it is a community cemetery.
It
is a
is.
place
Yes.
for the public. It is a place to honor and remember those that we love, whether they served or not. That's not the point. The point is to be a place for all to remember and grieve and celebrate their loved ones. And all of us need to have a hand in making sure that's preserved. We're not nowhere near where it should be.
Right.
But we are night and day better than what it used to be. And that's, we're just baby steps. We keep making progress, and it happens by just what you're saying. People volunteering, grassroots. People just saying, you know what, something needs done, I'm going to roll up my sleeves and do it. And that's exactly what we
But if we know
ask.
that you're out there, we can recognize you.
We could
too.
recognize you.
So-
We could maybe work together, and so both of our efforts are all going to a maximized benefit here for the cemetery. So
But speaking-
yeah, but thank
speaking-
you for those folks doing that.
Speaking as the president of Memory Lawn, thank you very much.
Absolutely, thank you. We love that you care, and you know what? If it's just a random act of kindness that they want to be anonymous, God bless you, and I hope you
Keep
inspire
doing it.
others
We're
to
okay
do
with
the
that.
same thing. That's a cool deal.
Right.
So, yep, absolutely. But if it's more than that, reach out to us. Maybe we can do more together.
Because I know we are in desperate need of a mowing team now that so our mowing team has either moved out of state or had back injuries.
Yes.
We need all of your high school kids that are going to be bored this summer
Yeah.
to help us mow.
Or just people who like
I've
mowing.
been approached
Right.
I've been approached by one high school student.
Good.
He'll start probably in June.
Excellent.
But
they're high school students.
It's a
we
big
need
place.
more.
It's limited.
He-
Yeah,
he
it
could
is
use some
it's
help.
a big cemetery. It's a lot of work, and one person mowing's gonna
Yeah, Frank
kill himself
Everett,
quick.
who was kind of one of our mainstays, he injured his back and he won't be able to mow anymore.
No.
Ralph is the one that's moving out of state. He's
Yep.
already sold all of his mowing equipment.
Yeah, we're going to miss
So
him.
he's going to be leaving sometime.
And Ralph was a
soon.
big cog in that wheel.
He
there,
was.
so.
Oh,
He was.
yeah.
Yep.
So now we're down to Don here, in his little push mower.
And his 37 other
that's just
volunteer
about right.
things. Yeah.
And
But he's
right
not
now-
doing 20 other things.
And right now, my workshop is so full of things
yeah.
that I can't even get to my mowers.
Oh
Yeah.
dear.
Workshop / office / storage facility. Yeah.
You got it.
And I hate to sound like a broken record, but the American Legion needs money. We need you. Anyone who's willing to donate any money at this time, we really would appreciate it.
We are in the midst of getting a new permanent home, and guess
Well,
what?
that
That
and
costs
we got,
money.
we're hosting state convention this year.
That's
in
right. That's
June,
here in a couple months.
and that's costing us a pretty penny. So if anybody would like to donate, I mean, even small amounts.
All
helps.
dollars accepted.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
please. And if you want, you can donate online, www.roswelllegion.org.
Mm-hmm.
Down by the 4 pillars on the front page, there's a donate button right there. You can do it with your credit card or the whole 9 yards. Or if you'd like, you can send me the money, 102 North Washington Avenue, Roswell, New Mexico, 88203. Call me at 575-268-0220, or you can call me direct.
Yep.
720-272-1455.
Yep. And all this information's at roswelllegion.org.
Yes,
too.
it is.
So if you're driving and you're like, I can't write that number
Yes,
down.
it is.
Go to roswelllegion.org. All of that is there, too.
Yeah.
And more.
Yes.
So, or send me an email, commander@roswelllegion.org. We need you. So anybody out there that's willing to either help financially, or if you want to donate some time,
Yeah.
we need people to serve some
Always looking for more
food.
members, too.
In June, we need people to, there's lots of things.
Yep.
And anybody in the community, if you have a business that you would like, I mean, we're going to have several hundred veterans descend upon Roswell in the third weekend of June. If you would like them to patronize your establishment, please let us know. We'll put you in the swag bag.
But we have a swag bag, and if you've got items you'd like to donate for that swag bag as your business, it's like, hey, here's some jerky or some nuts, or here's some pens or pencils.
If you
or whatever.
want, you can work with the Chamber of Commerce. We're partnering up with them on this. So if you want to talk to them about it, they've got all the information as well.
Yep. Yeah, we'll make sure we'll get all that. But yeah, reach out, and we'd love to have that. But yeah, that in June you'll see a bunch of people in pointy hats hanging around town here, and and they'll be all over
we like
town.
to call them garrison cops.
I know, but I call them something else, but I can't say it on the radio. We had this discussion yesterday.
But you could, hopefully nobody would take offense.
I thought a pointy hat was the wizard's hat.
Yeah, not that
Wizards, which is that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I was thinking, well, it's got a point. It's just a different. Anyway, you see the hats, the garrison hats, they're all over town. You're like, what's going on? American Legion State Convention is in town this weekend. So you'll see them all over town at various locations.
Third weekend of June, not this weekend, but
Yeah, so please, if you'd like to support, like you said, donate. Like I said, easy, just go to roswelllegion.org. All of our contacts there. You can get a hold of Commander Lee or any of us through there. If you want to learn more about all of our other stuff, if you want to donate to Memory Lawn directly, you can find a thing through there to that as well.
We don't have a home right now, but we are nomadic.
Yes.
We are meeting at the Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
At least for the time being.
Temporarily.
And we will probably find some place to do projects and stuff like that. But we need things. We need to donate stuff. We need to raffle stuff off. We need to do whatever we can to recoup some of this cash.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking for fundraising items. So anything that you might consider putting in, like a gift basket type thing. We're trying to put together some baskets for the drawings that we'd like to do.
We'd like to donate
in June.
some auction item type stuff. Yeah.
And of course, we're going to have some upfront costs. So if you guys are willing to help out your local veterans organization and donate a few bucks, we'd appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it looks like the auxiliary is considering, I don't know if they've made this final decision yet, of restarting the
steering wheel
cover project.
Yeah, we had a lady call us yesterday saying somebody stole my daughter's steering wheel cover. We need another one. Can we get another one? I'm like, okay.
Well,
yes.
we will be back in full force at Farmers Market this summer.
Yep.
So maybe that's something that we have to consider putting back on the table.
Well, I'm
again, some of
hoping,
that
but
stuff.
like I said, that decision has not been made.
Well, and our auxiliary are the keeper of those kind of things, and what logistically works best for them is what they're going to do on that.
Like I said, we're still looking for a home. So
Harrington has not come at us and asked for more
bears?
charity bears, but I really
this
don't know.
may not be a
what
bad
his-
thing, though.
I will see him Friday if you want me to ask.
Yeah, I don't know what his stock is like on that. Well, then again, I haven't talked to Harrington in 7 months, so I don't know what he's doing these
you've
days.
been a little bit out of pocket busy.
I was on the moon for a little while, and
yes,
the dark side of the moon.
I was on the dark side of the moon, and I was writing a book.
Yeah, absolutely. But
Which
yeah,
should have been
I'll ask when I
published
see him
by
Saturday.
now, but my editor has been
busy getting everything back in order. Yes,
a little slow.
Everybody's behind. It
yes,
seems like, right?
apparently.
I don't know. I feel like the older I get, the more I'm playing catch up in my life all the time, and I don't know why I feel that way. Is that just me, or is that other people too?
No, it's just you.
Okay.
I have a
That's what
sign in my office that says, I'm so far behind, I thought I was first.
I live that.
It's like some days, like, oh my God, they're like, man, I missed more than I did. Dang. Yeah, but yes, our Legion, and here's something, and we've talked about in the past. If you have a prior experience in Legion and things like that, and maybe you're new when you move to this area and you're looking for a new Legion post. Our Post 61 family, we say it that way because yes, we have an auxiliary unit, we have a Sons unit, we have our Legionnaires. And yes, they're all three separate, and they have their meetings and their own finances and their own kind of pet projects and things. But we operate as one family. So when we do events,
we support each other.
It's the 61 family. Our auxiliary, our Sons, our Legionnaires are all equally represented, equally involved in the planning, organizing,
we're
and running.
In that here in New Mexico, most American Legion posts they treat them as hands-off separate entities.
Sure. We're one big family.
Just one big family.
Yeah. We all come and we meet. We have our separate meetings on meeting night. If we need more joint meetings, we have once a quarter. But we really, we work as three, but in the big scope, we are one. And so, so if you want to be an auxiliary and you want to donate to auxiliary, you can do all that, no problem. We can separate and do all that. If you have more of a penchant for one or the other, but in the big scope of things, we are one cohesive.
And we're looking for Legionnaires. We're looking for sons right now. I need at least 2 more sons for this year, just so the state would be happy.
But we're not capping at that.
Even if,
No, definitely not.
But if you're under 18 and your parents or grandparents served, let us know, because we offer discounted memberships for that.
Absolutely. So, and by the way, to be a son, you just have to be a son of a grandson of a military member.
Yeah, that's it.
And you don't have to be 18. You can be any age, really. You can,
long as you're born.
Like Lee and I are both sons and Legionnaires because of our parents and so forth like that. And many people fall in that. And to be honest, you can qualify for all three if you're a veteran, you're married to a veteran, and your parents and you're a male son, and you're a male, and your parents were a veteran. You can be in all three. The auxiliary, because your spouse is a veteran, qualifies you for auxiliary.
Very true.
You're the veteran, so you qualify for Legionnaire, and then of course your parents were, and so in theory you could be in all three.
Yeah.
It's a little weird.
If you ride a motorcycle, then you
then the riders,
and
but
the fourth.
We don't have one of those branches. Not saying it's not in our future, but we'd have to have a demand.
But we need 5 motorcycle riders, and I think right now we only have 2. So.
I didn't even know we had 2, to be honest.
I didn't either.
2 more than I knew we had.
No, I keep track of this.
He's got a little
and if we get 2 more ham radio operators, we can have our own radio station, or what do you call it? Radio club.
Yeah, there you go.
I know the ham guys. I don't know how many of them are veterans, though.
So if we finally buy this building, which is an if, maybe we'll stick a repeater on top of the building.
Our future is bright, but we got a lot of work to get there, and that's where we're at. And right now, you're right. We're at that fundraising stage. We need money. We've kind of we've had big dreams and big aspirations.
American Legion Post, that's not in the fundraising stage.
But I would also argue too. We took a big bite. Like we're trying to push envelopes here a little bit.
Most posts that host the state convention are typically at least twice the size that we are.
Exactly, and that's so
we really desperately need help, and we desperately need funds.
But at the same time, we want to keep it to what we, as our family and our values and our, we want to keep it.
We even made the coin that we do Roswell based. We made sure that there was the alien on it because that's Roswell.
We're representing Roswell at the state convention, absolutely. So, but if you'd like to get involved in any way, shape, or form, donating money, donating like door prizes or auction prize type items,
even
things
just stuff
like that.
To put in the swag bag, would be cool.
Stuff to put in the swag bag, volunteering. If you want to, serve as a volunteer in some way, shape, or form. We could use all the help we can get.
Absolutely.
We just and of course with Memory Lawn, don't forget if you want to help, we're going to do a volunteer weekend. We'll tell you more about it as we get closer to Memorial Day, but plan on it that Saturday before Memorial Day,
which would be the
Memory
25th,
Lawn, which would be the 25th of May, so a month tomorrow.
Basically,
from that. So, but we'll definitely remind you between now and then on that one. But kind of put it in your calendars and keep a bee in the bonnet on that and say, hey. Again, another great family opportunity. Much like when we do Wreaths Across America in December, we had a great turnout last time and lots of community members. And you know what? I would love to see that again on the 25th. That was my happiest part.
By the way, you can buy Wreaths Across America.
You can do it right now.
Year round.
Yeah.
In fact, we encourage you to do so. You still get credit for it in this year.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you do it during this year.
Well, you're technically making it just easier for all the logistics involved by doing it now as opposed to doing it a week before the deadline.
And not only that, but now we're more likely to have a little bit of fundage as opposed to after buying Christmas presents.
Well, and exactly. And plus our goal is to make sure every single veteran, I mean, we would love it to every single veteran's grave in Roswell has a wreath on it.
That would be
for
wonderful.
The Christmas holidays. That's our ultimate goal. Right now, we're just trying to get everyone at Memory Lawn, and
which is about 300.
Yeah, and we come close. We come very close, but a few we miss because we just don't quite have enough wreaths. So please help us get to that goal, and we'd love to invite you out. That, like I said, it was so cool because we have everyone our Legion hats out there, and we had quite a few, which awesome. That's the thing. But I saw so many non-Legionnaires, just families, community members came out that they wanted to be a part of this event and help out.
That is always so exciting.
And to me, that's the win. I'm like, I mean, because sometimes I feel like we're preaching to the choir a little bit. We all get it. But so when you see that, it's like some people,
yay, we got one.
Yeah.
Yay.
So thank you to all that come out and support that, and hope to see you on May 25th when we do our Memorial Day cleanup out there. But between now and then, come on. Matter of fact, our next Legionnaire meeting or Post 61 family meeting will be the first Thursday of May, which is next. Is that next week?
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
Boy, how it is
May
next
2nd.
week.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, it's next Thursday. And
we'll be out at NIMI on
the 3rd.
The 3rd.
Yeah, the award
just
ceremony.
The day after.
Okay.
We'll be giving out 3 awards this year at NIMI.
Excellent.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also, too, we do have scholarships available. Go to our website, roswelllegion.org. And if you are a family member of a veteran or you yourself are a veteran and you're pursuing a STEM-related degree or extra education, that's and you got to write an essay in that, but that's the bare quality.
We could do up to 6 this year.
Excellent. So please, and that's separate funding. We have some very generous benefactors.
Yes, we do.
That money's earmarked specifically for that, so we don't use that money to pay for these conventions and all that. That money's specifically for that.
We normally do 2 a semester, but
nobody
applied last semester, so I've got a backlog.
Yeah.
So.
We're just itching to give you money. You got to fill out the applications and everything.
If you don't want your $2,500, that's fine. I'll keep it. But
and really, you got to write a short essay, and you, like I said, and then the other 2 requirements I mentioned that you have to enroll in a STEM, which is very broad. It could be first responders, it could be electrical or HVAC or something like that. It could be doctor, scientist,
to a
whatever.
welder.
Yeah, all of that qualifies as STEM. It involves math and engineering and science. And
there you go.
And you ever welded and didn't use any of those, then you didn't weld right.
True.
So it's a very broad
a really
thing.
good guesser.
Yeah, right. You just sun was shining on your butt that day. But definitely, please, RoswellLegion.org.
Dr. Trowbridge.
That's right.
Who's that?
Spies like us. Never mind.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I watched. I'm one of the probably 7 people that saw Spies Like Us in a movie theater.
Oh, I saw it.
Did you see it in a theater?
Yeah,
I was there watching Chevy and Dan in a theater.
Okay.
Spies Like Us. You ever seen that movie?
Probably. I don't remember though.
it's very Russian, very 80s, very funny though.
Oh.
Think of it. Have you ever seen Three Amigos or any of those kind of movies?
Yeah.
No.
Where have you been living in? How have you not seen these movies?
I fell asleep during Three Amigos, but I did
it.
watch it later on TV, so I got the rest of it. Yeah. But the singing tortoises just kind of flew me off.
Do we have a plethora pinata?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Sorry, I'm a child. But please reach out. Come out to our next meeting next Thursday. We'll be at the Legion. At the chamber here, 6 p.m. It will be our meeting time next Thursday. And of course, RoswellLegion.org for anything we talked about. If you'd like to donate, get involved with our state convention, with Memory Lawn, with our scholarships. If you want to become a Legionnaire or an auxiliary member or a son, all of the above, RoswellLegion.org. You'll find all of our information. If you want to talk to Lee direct and you can't write down the numbers, all of it's right there. You can go at your leisure and get that information. And if you're veterans in need and things like that, call us, reach out to us as well.
Or worst case, just call the radio station here.
And they call me and I
can
put you. Yeah, I got a hat and everything. So,
yeah,
I know what's going on.
Yep. And our meetings are open, so don't be afraid to come by and say hello.
We love visitors. Come say hi.
Yeah.
Depending on the night, you might even give you food or something. Just
maybe.
Yeah. What's going on that night? So.
Yeah, that's 6 o'clock is our regular meeting.
Yep.
Before that, we might kick you out because we have some private meetings that happen.
Well, it's our e-board meetings, so our officers
and Memory Lawn and cemetery meetings sometimes. But 6 o'clock is our regular scheduled meeting time.
The gathering of the tribe, so to speak. There. Yeah. Good deal. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it, and I'll see y'all later. I'll see you tomorrow. See you Some of y'all tomorrow, anyway.
Yeah. Yep, for sure.
Some of y'all later. And I think I'm done with Don today. I think we don't have any more interviews scheduled.
He's on to his next project.
That's right. Well, thank you.
Well, thank you. Job Corps didn't show up.
And that's what we talked earlier. You know, if nothing else, we said if everyone in this community picked one passion project and got in it, we'd have no problems with our community and stuff.
Yeah.
But if nothing else, give Don some free time so you have to volunteer for every organization.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to give Don a break. He's getting old.
Yeah. I wouldn't do it if I didn't.
Well, that's
like
just it.
That's
true. You know, we're joking and stuff,
Yeah,
but
I know,
Don
but-
is a. Don
Well, if I
epitomizes
didn't
what's good about
volunteer,
people.
I'd be bored.
Yeah.
Just, I've
But,
been retired since 2015.
15.
Yeah.
Yep.
15 or 16.
But-
Anyway, the point is, if I didn't have the American Legion, I'd probably go batty.
Sure. Well, that's the point of the Legion, though. The Legion is supposed to be
it's
there for
fun.
its veterans and it's supposed to be a support. You know, we talk about the service side, but we service each other as much as we service the community, and
That's
that's
right.
part of what the Legion is about. You know, we talk about our 4 pillars and everything, but really one of our main things is to watch our own 6 and making sure our veterans are taken care of.
We really mean that we're a family.
Our folks, you know, these are people that in some way, shape, or form, or even indirectly through other people, we sat in foxholes together and did things that you know, and so that's why it is so important that we that's our main mission first. But yes, part of that is how we can do good for everyone else, because that's good for our souls too. So
Yep.
good deal. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. And,
Thanks for having us.
Let me play some political ads before they kick me off the radio. So.
Okay.
Thank you guys again. RoswellLegion.org is everything we talked about. You'll find it there. Check it out and get back with us. And love to see you be a part of everything we do or some of what we do. We'd love to have you. So.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, 9:54. Quick break before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Greg Clugston. Tesla's first quarter net income dropped sharply, down 55%, but its stock price surged as the company said it would accelerate production of new, more affordable vehicles. The Biden administration has finalized a new rule to make millions of more salaried workers eligible for overtime pay in the U.S. Starting on the 1st of July, employers will be required to pay overtime to salaried workers who make under $44,000 a year in certain jobs. That's an increase from the current threshold of $35,500. The Federal Trade Commission has voted to ban measures known as non-compete agreements, which bar some 30 million workers from jumping to or starting competing companies for a prescribed period of time. A legal challenge is expected. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Greg Clugston.
Senator Greg Nybert is known as a conservative Republican who is effectively fighting for us in Santa Fe. In the last session, Greg Nybert helped stop harmful legislation that would penalize New Mexico businesses with outrageously expensive financial burdens. He knows small businesses do not need more regulation. Greg Nybert helped defeat progressive attempts to make it illegal for New Mexicans to own certain types of firearms and firearm accessories. He knows it's important to protect our rights. During his legislative career, Greg has been responsible for stopping numerous anti-oil and gas bills. He knows it is important to protect our jobs. Senator Greg Nybert is the only candidate for District 27 who has a proven record of protecting us from big government intrusion. Greg Nybert stands for the rights of the people and pledges to continue his work. Please vote for Greg Nybert for Senate District 27.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Senate.
This is the moment you've been waiting for. You've convinced yourself it's warm enough to swim in your pool for the first time this season, even if the temperature still carries a hint of fading cold. Who cares? You've paid your winter dues. With hours inside and too much pie, it's time to open your pool. Barbecues, suntans, and games of Marco Polo. Here you come. The only question is, how ready is your pool? It has been waiting patiently for this day too, ready to make your neighbors drool. If you rely on BioGuard products, get ready to slap on some sunscreen and fire up the grill. Not only does BioGuard provide simple solutions, they also have expert dealers who can help you be the best pool owner you can be. Because when your eyes sparkle at the side of your pool, they should always return the favor. Visit your BioGuard dealer at Mays Lumber, 115 South Virginia in Roswell, and start the season off right.
We cut to order, special order, products old and new. You can count on Mays Lumber Company.
What made Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico for 2023? It's simple. Great selection, great savings, and great people. Right now, the lot is loaded with all new Hyundai models, including Elantras, Santa Fe's, and Palisades. And with 0% on select new, 5-year warranty, and 3 years free oil changes on all 2024 models in stock. Now's the time to trade up and save big. So, what makes Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico? You do. Come check out the all-new and used car supercenter only at Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency. Auto and home, life and health, personal and commercial. Bonds too, since 1925. We have the coverage for you. Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency.
Bob Reed Pest Control protects you and your home by controlling pests that invade. Bob Reed Pest Control understands the importance of safety in and around your home from unwanted pests. Protect your family's most important investment, your home, and protect your children and pets from the dangers of poisonous bugs and insects. Call Bob Reed Pest Control today and let our fully licensed pest control professionals start working for you and your family. Find us fast in names and numbers. Call 623-5344, serving all of southeast New Mexico.
Pressure Services LLC in Artesia has immediate openings for experienced vacuum truck, kill truck, and hydrovac operators. Operators must hold a Class A CDL or Class D CDL, at least 2 years of experience, and be at least 25 years of age. All positions require a clean driving record and must be able to pass a DOT drug and alcohol screen. Pressure Services offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contributions toward health benefits. Please apply in person at 402 West Main in Artesia, inside the Age Safety Facility. Equal Opportunity Employer.
Hugh Hewitt is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
President Biden has signed into law a $95 billion war aid measure that includes assistance for Ukraine, Israel, Taiwan, and other allies. The president says this assistance for Ukraine will be sent out as soon as possible.